How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you guys? Yeah, so the first time I ever called Destiny, he for some reason told his stream that Lav was calling him. I don't know why.
What?
I don't know, like the specific reference I brought up was a streamer Byron, who I talked to and my partner worked for, and a lot of people corroborated
let me just say
really frequent in DGG.
Really quickly, wow. Everything that you say right now is going to get clipped and sent back to him, so make sure that you are...
That's okay, that's on everyone in DGG who's a regular in there who told me that happened. I'm not saying it's correlated.
Make me look bad. Like, he's willing to just blatantly lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did that with me as well. Like, he told him what he knows is a lie.
I don't know if I want to relive all of this here. Sorry.
What? For what reason? What are you scared of, Tom? This is so over.
I'm not scared of anything. Well, it's not over if you're bringing it back up and talking about it again, right?
Right.
Like,
most people aren't built for that at all.
Yeah, and Destiny talks about, he's like, oh, it doesn't affect me.
That.
It doesn't affect him more than he leads on. It really does.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
You have to pretend it doesn't.
Oh, it's all the worst people on the internet talking about me while I'm trying to sleep again. Nice.
So fun.
Destiny, you supposedly lied about catnip.
I lied about catnip?
You are stirring the pot.
You lied about catnip.
What did I lie about? Well, after we had a conversation and I realized you are a hardcore, emotionally manipulative and abusive person, I was like, fuck it. It's a funny story, so why not?
Why do you think that about me?
Catnip.
Yes.
Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are?
Yes, I do.
It doesn't even matter. Don't even ask the question.
But if Lav wants to keep diverting into shit-tier memes because she knows that the conversation is going to be challenging for Catnip, I mean, we can keep doing that until I go to sleep.
Yeah, Lav, Catnip said, like, obviously wants closure on this conversation. I don't know why you're...
I think it is unfair of Catnip to bring this up, and I think that it is unfair for Destiny to keep talking about it publicly.
There you go.
Because he already said that he was uncomfortable with it.
Both sides in it. Get her.
Mom? Oh yeah, they were slaughtered in the Holocaust. That affects like a child. Are you fucking kidding me?
Those,
like, what the
yes,
fuck?
those things kind
You can't devalidate
missing,
that.
If you're missing, stop saying, first of all, it's not a word, okay? But, like, yeah.
Well, you don't think the video of Wreckful crying, saying, hey, please stop telling me to kill myself. Like, why are you doing that? That really hurts me. You think that because you're not sensitive, that other people who are sensitive should just, like, fuck off?
If you're sensitive, listen, if you're sensitive, you probably shouldn't be doing...
Did you consider Byron a friend of yours?
I did. That's why I know him better than you ever have, and at this point, ever will, unless you find a way to travel back into the past, which was really fucking strange that you're trying to talk to me. Although I understand it's really common that cluster B people think that they're ultimately empaths that can read everybody else's emotions, even the dead. Okay, somehow you're able to do that. Okay.
Have you seen this clip before?
Yes, I have. I'm familiar with the issues that Byron had with online communities. Byron's mental health issues, him taking 2 grams of mushrooms a day for months, okay? Him cycling through all sorts of crazy treatments to figure out how to treat his shit. I don't think it had to do as much with online bullying. I think that he had severe mental issues.
You don't think it had any impact, so you don't want to play the video? You don't think it's relevant?
I'm not going to sit here and have you play weird videos about people that you don't know and don't give a fuck about towards me when this person's my friend and
Oh no, I definitely give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck. He's a tool. Listen, somebody literally just linked this to you in your chat. I'm watching your chat. I see it happen.
No, I've seen it.
No, you're not. Somebody literally linked it in your chat. I've linked it to me.
I've watched this video
I don't care that you watch it.
with my partner who worked for
That's
Wreckful,
great.
actually.
That's great. Worked for Wreckful? What, did he edit a thumbnail for him?
Something that mattered a lot to
Okay,
him.
that's great. All right, listen, that's fine. I don't need your perspective on my friend's suicide, okay? I'm good on that. I'm super chill on it.
And I don't think you
telling
telling people to kill themselves is good for the rest of society, and I do think it impacted Wreckful, and I do think that the way we treat each other online actually matters.
Maybe, Gabber Mate's son hosts a show for the Grey Zone. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Listen, if you wanted to come in here at the very beginning and you just wanted to say, hey, telling people to kill themselves online is kind of mean, probably shouldn't do that, it's not going to get you people, I'd probably agree with you. Yeah, probably not. It's probably me getting a little bit too amped up. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I don't know why you feel like you need to dig in.
You did
Israel,
disagree
Palestine.
with that, actually. You did disagree with that. The thing is, Destiny, you always tell people how willing you are to listen to criticism.
Not only did I
really
not disagree with it, I'm pretty sure that if we go back in this conversation, I think I explicitly said to you, yeah, I probably shouldn't tell people to kill themselves.
No, you explicitly said people like Hassan should kill themselves because they're doing harm to society.
I said that the world would probably be better off if these people disappeared forever from the internet. I think that was the phrase that I used.
Did you see Mr. Girl talk to Grace recently?
No, I haven't. I'm so out of the loop. I've never really watched any of you guys.
That's
to
a
be honest,
personality
you
I
were the
miss,
only
Mr.
person I
Girl.
watched Tom, unironically.
Well, I covered it.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'm not like a watcher, but you are the only
What
person
the
that I do
hell?
tune into.
I miss Mr. Girl.
Yeah, it didn't go too horribly badly. They didn't yell at each other.
It's crazy that he even spoke to her, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like it's against, dude. The more time passes, the more I'm just like, dude, fucking Max is such a fucking hack. Like, he just does everything. Like, he's all over the place. Poor fucking guy.
I don't think he's a
He's all
hack,
over the-
but I think that he
No,
has
I think he's
strong
a hack.
convictions on things, but I think that he's like his priorities change, or he's willing to like change his mind on things and think about things differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't be as dogmatic as you are and then be as open
I agree
and
with this.
agreeable. Like, it's
Yes.
just, it's
The
just,
dogmatism is the thing.
yeah, it's retarded. And then him being like all big with boundaries, and then like, I mean, still to this day, he's referring to me as his fucking daughter. I'm like, we ended our friendship over this, dude. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like retarded.
It is weird.
It's so stupid. And then the more I just like, I don't know, like, I don't know. More, I'm hearing more things like, I don't know.
I
felt
refer
like
to
I
you
had
as my mommy,
shut
and I
the
mean
fuck
it.
up. I'll
I
be
mean
your
it very
mommy.
seriously.
I'll be your
You are my
mommy, baby.
mommy.
Are you hungry? You want milkies?
Yes,
Oh
mama.
God.
No, but as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. Now I'm horny.
So we were talking about dogmatism, being overly dogmatic,
No, we were
and
talking about the sex tape.
not
that
holding
was on the
boundaries.
Oh, I used to have like an iron dome, so to speak, about information about Max. Like, if it was negative, it would just like fly off. Like, my defenses would attack it so that it wouldn't give me bias against him because I loved him. But like now, the more that I hear about him, the more I'm just like, oh, like him and like his relationship is extremely toxic. He's extremely mentally ill, and I think he's an artist. I think he's an incredible artist. Like, he's a beautiful way of thinking. He's very smart, very intelligent. I love hearing what he has to say, but he is like disease riddled. Like, his brain is also. I mean, the smartest people are disease riddled that way, but
Yeah.
it's hard to be close to, but it's interesting to watch. And yeah,
It's like a car crash, you know.
it's. I don't even think it's like a car crash. It's like watching Nietzsche in like while he was alive instead of reading his books. I think that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Max is sort of somewhat of like a philosopher, but I mean, when Nietzsche was alive, everyone was like, "This guy is fucking insane. Like, this guy is so mentally ill, he's insane." And then, years later, everyone's like, "Oh my god, this guy." And I think I wonder if Max will be that way. I wonder. I don't know. If he
Who
doesn't
was
fall off the
the-
face of the earth.
Who was the guy that wrote what was it called? The Raven? The Crow?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, it's more like
The Crow
watching
is the
Edgar
movie.
Allan Poe.
You think so? Just his descent into madness?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah, I like Max, but yeah, he's definitely troubled soul.
I like Max too, but we have beef now. The last time we spoke, I saw that he was still calling me his daughter, and so I texted him. I was like, "Dude, can you fucking knock it off?" And he was like, "I knew you wouldn't like that. Also, so good to hear from you." I was like, "What the like? You're weird." I was like,
I knew
he was
you
like,
wouldn't
he was like, "Yeah, so nice to talk to you." I was just like, "What? Like, what is your deal?" It's so fucked.
You moved off to another state and went to college, and he just misses you.
Dude, that's so stupid. I remember, dude, Connor puts up with so much. I remember when I was like explaining to him the whole dad thing, and I was like, "No, he's like a mentor. He's like an older friend." And Connor was just like, "That's weird." And I was like, "No, no, no, you just don't get it. You just don't get it." And Connor was like, no, that's super weird.
Mhm.
And I should have listened. I should have listened. I don't know. I don't think that I'm easily manipulatable. I don't know. I don't know.
You are.
Okay.
These
I
are
don't
like
think
these
so.
are all things that are like relationship dynamics that make you feel closer to a person that you don't really know, and so you can use like nicknames that
Well,
have
that also, the more that I think about our relationship, like he told me nothing about himself and then like would let me
Mhm.
divulge for hours about my life and my relationship and like all these things. And then I asked him once, this is one of our fights, was I asked him if he'd ever like had sex with a black guy as like a joke even, and he was like, I think it would be really inappropriate to cross that boundary where I tell you about my sexual history when I had been telling him about like everything in my life. Like it was so weird now to think
Well,
about,
that's
like
weird.
just the power differential in the relationship, and that I like he wanted to keep the power differential in the relationship, which is why he called himself my dad,
Mm,
which is things that he's actively against.
yeah.
So it was just like it's just so hypocritical.
I mean, he's talked about like he's not against like power dynamics as a whole. He's against them like being used as a weapon and the dangers that
Yeah, sure,
are
sure.
involved with them.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. So I guess it's not that hypocritical, but it felt, I guess, yeah, he didn't use any of the information I told him, and I don't think he ever will. I don't think he ever will. Um, but it was still just like so weird to have. It was like he was my therapist or something for a second.
Mm,
And then he does this thing where he's always like, "You're mad at me right now," and I'm like, "No, I'm
yeah.
not mad at you." And then he's like, "No, like you're lying, like you are mad at me," and I'm just
And then
like,
you have to come up with a
Yes,
reason for why you're mad at
yes,
him just to
yes,
get him
and
to
then he
stop.
forces you, and I used to call it flagellation. I used to always, I mean, we used to talk multiple times a week, like probably 3 4 times a week for like a while, like hours long phone calls, and I would like that conversation would go like every which way, and I'd just be like, dude, I'm at the end, like after a couple weeks I was just like, dude, it feels like this is like sexual to you, like you're like, you want me to like flagellate you or like harm you in some way because you like it, you like the pain of me like critiquing you. It was
I
like,
don't
it
think
was
that's it.
weird.
It's so I guess I don't know this, but just from my perspective, it just seems like a power game where like it's about like
I think I
you
know what it is. I think it's I
saying
think it's
him saying
betrayed
you're
and
mad at
besieged.
him is you now, because you don't want to like hurt him, you have to feel bad that you're mad at him now.
Yeah, I don't think that that's it. I don't think that that's it at all. I genuinely think it's because he probably lived on like thin ice in his home, and so he needs, it's like it's a control freak thing. He needs to know my inner thoughts about him or anyone's inner thoughts about him to feel safe, and he doesn't believe that you have only positive feelings about him because he has
Yeah,
such low
didn't he
self.
say he had an overbearing mom?
Yeah.
Oh, so
So I
you
think
think that he's just afraid that you're mad at him, and so he forces you to like give him
not
the
even
reason
afraid.
for
I think
why.
because I believe that he thinks that he's the problem in everybody's life because that's what
Uh-huh.
his parents told him he was, and that's what the internet has assessed that he is, and especially DGG, it's just sort of ingrained it into him even further. Um, and so he's like, yeah, he's like hyper aware of that, and I don't think that he thinks that he can be a positive influence in
Well,
someone's
I
life. I think
want
he,
Mr. Girl out there to know that he's a hero, all right?
I
I
don't think
very
that's true because he literally
I think it's
does
a
a
frantic
call-in
effort. I
show.
think it's frantic effort to like avoid abandonment, genuinely, because
He
if he
literally
can
does a
fix it,
call-in show where he gives people advice, and he has like random people call in so he can tell them like have them tell him their problems, and he can give them advice on these things. I think that he has more of a savior complex than like a problem with thinking that he can't save people.
well, no, I think it's abandonment. I think if he feels like he can fix the problem, then he won't be left. He won't be abandoned. So if he knows that you have an inkling or just the start of something like anger, then you can't leave him because he can fix it. He can talk his way out of it.
Maybe. I think I don't know. That seems like a little bit too over analyzing, but maybe that's
I don't know.
the thing.
I mean,
I don't think so.
you both are kind of psychovaling him right now.
We are, but I think
Maybe.
one is a little bit more like self-flagellating, but it's or not, yeah. Because I definitely think that he is, as somebody who used to be very manipulative and was like willing to like pull
Used
on
to be.
people in every direction. I would use very like similar things of like, yeah, like nicknames to make people feel like we were closer than we actually were so that I could get close to them. I would like, yeah, just sit and listen to people, and they would, as they're telling me their problems, they feel closer to, at least women will feel closer to me if they just sit and tell me about their problems. And then yeah, if like with girlfriends, I would pick fights with them and then become the victim pretty quickly so that they have to fix something, they feel bad, they have to they're the ones who have an issue somehow. And I think that that's like what everything that you're talking about sounds like to me. Weaponizing feelings to make the other person feel like they have to fix something or feel like they're like indebted to you somehow.
Maybe.
No. What? Just hearing all this, makes me really appreciative that I'm mostly neurotypical.
Mm.
Very appreciative. Maybe
think
that's why I
I'm-
watch this much content. This type of content.
I think I'm probably histrionic.
Is histrionic like an actual thing, or is it a state?
Yeah, it's
like
cluster B. It's cluster B. So it's with narcissistic and BPD.
Oh yeah, there's a
Um,
histrionic personality disorder.
Yeah, here, let's go through the criteria. Cuz a lot of people, let's diagnose me with BPD right now actually.
Let's do it.
A lot of people say that I have BPD. But
I was gonna ask you that. Do you
No.
have BPD?
When I was 14,
think-
I was diagnosed with BPD or like traits of BPD. But like, what 14-year-old doesn't have traits of BPD? And I was like in a super abusive
14-year-old
home.
girl, you mean?
Yeah, sure. But like, I never, yeah, like that. But I never, like, I've never had an adult diagnosis of BPD. And
Yeah,
I have like a
histrionic-
fear of it. I have like a fear of having BPD, so I like constantly accuracy test with my therapist, and she like every week is like, no.
I don't think you have BPD. Yeah.
One, fear of abandonment.
So I
No.
have the symptoms up. I got shallow, changeable emotions, assumed intimacy
Maybe.
with others,
No.
hypersensitivity to criticism.
I think when I'm already like in a bad mood, maybe, but not in general.
Manipulative behavior.
Sure.
Disproportionate emotional
Actually,
reactions.
no, I'm not giving myself enough credit. No, I don't think that I have manipulative behavior.
You said histrionic personality disorder?
Okay, sure. I will take that. Disproportionate emotional reactions.
Not at my baseline. When I'm on Klonopin and coming off of Klonopin, yes.
Okay.
But not at my baseline.
Sexually provocative behavior.
Certainly.
Yeah. A compulsive desire for attention.
Yes.
Why are you even thinking about that one?
Because I'm also because I don't like attention in real life. I'm very socially anxious. But I do online a lot. So it's like a weird
Preoccupation with appearance.
Not more than like any other woman, I don't think. So it's hard
Suggestible
to say.
and easily influenced.
No.
Okay.
Wait,
I would say yes.
Did you just say you were easily manipulated earlier?
She
No,
did,
I
and
said
then
I
she
don't
changed her
think
mind,
that
and
I manipulate. I
she
said I
is.
don't think I'm easily manipulated.
Oh,
You
true.
said that I was.
I said that you are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are. This is for histrionics disorders, so
Yeah, I think that I might be histrionic. My mother is definitely histrionic. And I think that the worst parts of me and the best parts of me are very much like my mother. So
I think
I think
you. I don't know if we say I think you have changeable emotions. I think that I don't know about assumed intimacy with others. Maybe
I don't think that's like you think you're closer with people than you really are. I assume
Yeah.
everyone hates me. I don't assume anything. Like, I think the opposite.
Hypersensitivity to criticism. I would say, yeah, you seem to have hypersensitivity to criticism.
There's no way that you think that. I've
I
been the
do.
butt of so many of your jokes, and I keep coming back, and I
You do,
take it.
yes, yes.
But think about how much criticism I've gotten in relation to the normal average person. And
yes, but
I think that anyone is going to crack a little bit, but I think overall I am not sensitive to criticism.
I think so I think that because you know that I like you, you don't care as much if I'm like dicking on you or if I'm giving like a harsh opinion or something like that. Whereas like random comments under a YouTube video of people you don't know and have never met, I think those matter to you a lot.
I think when they're in hordes, but no, I don't think so.
No? Okay. I don't think you have manipulative behavior as disproportionate emotional reactions. It's hard for me to tell when you're saying that like it's the Klonopin withdrawals. If I have to take those out of account, then I guess probably not.
I mean, we think about the year that we've known each other, and it was only those 2 weeks that I was literally withdrawing off of Klonopin that I had any sort of like outburst.
Okay. Sexually provocative behavior, obviously.
For sure. Yeah.
Compulsive desire for attention, I would say yes. And a lot of people would say the bombastic things that you say and the provocative things that you say.
I'm very theatrical. Yeah.
Yes. Play into that. Preoccupation with appearance. I don't know if it's more than others. This is something that I don't know. I couldn't know.
I go online like makeup lists a lot, and I don't really care usually.
But I was gonna say, I think somebody who does like Instagram or has done OnlyFans, done stuff like that, I would assume they probably have a preoccupation with appearance. And then yeah, suggestible and easily influenced, I would say yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What? Cite your sources.
There were, I think, 1, maybe 2 calls between you and Mr. Girl where it was like watching the freaking
he's my dad. You don't understand our relationship.
Yeah. A person like the maestro in front of an orchestra, just like picking at every little thing on you and just moving it from one place to another.
Yeah, watching that video is kind of scary, honestly. I had a couple of like real life friends after watching that be like, girl, this is kind of scary. And I was like, no, you don't get it. He's just sensitive. Oh my god, dude. That's so gnarly. I mean, I still don't think he did me on purpose, but I think he is very masterful. It is. I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much shit about Max because I still do love him, but yeah. Okay, BPD diagnosis?
Oh, well, so those are the symptoms. The diagnosis for the DSM is a compulsion to be the center of attention that results in discomfort if unmet, inappropriate sexual, seductive, or provocative behavior when interacting with others.
That's for sure.
Shallow, rapidly shifting emotions, the use of physical appearance to draw others' attention, dramatic, impressionistic speech that lacks detail.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, that is one thing you can definitely say about me.
Exaggerated theatrical emotional expression.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. Easily influenced by others or situations. And then assumes relationships are more intimate than they are.
I don't think so. What was that second one?
Second, inappropriate, sexual, seductive, or provocative behavior
What was
when
the?
interacting
That was the
with
third one.
others.
What was the third one or the first one?
The first one, a compulsion to be center of attention that results in discomfort if unmet.
Yeah, I
Then the
don't.
third,
I don't feel that way. If I like to be the center of attention, but if I'm not the center of attention, I don't. I'm not uncomfortable. So I don't like. That's such a weird sort of like measure. Because I
You
will
think of
do
a
a lot to
time-
be the center of attention, but I'm not uncomfortable if I'm not.
you think of a time you were like on a panel or not the center of attention on that.
A lot of
you
the
fucked
John
me
Zerka
up.
panels I was on, I wasn't the center of attention. But usually, like the ones that where I am the center of attention, I think it's just because I am bombastic. It's
Wait, you were on a John Zerka panel?
yeah, I
I've
was
never
on a
seen that.
couple,
Okay, that's the next video I'm watching.
and I definitely wasn't like. I think I was actually sort of quiet on those. So yeah, I don't know.
On
Hard to say. Sometimes I really do love
BPD
attention.
BPD diagnostic criteria.
Let's do
It
it. Let's
says
do it.
a pervasive pattern of instability of interpersonal relationships, self-image, and effects, and marked impulsivity beginning by early adulthood and presented in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following below. Number 1, fear of abandonment.
No.
I could have sworn you've said before that you did have a fear of abandonment. Because of your
No,
mom.
not maybe as a joke to like directly referencing the diagnosis of BPD, but no, I don't have any. I have very, very secure attachment, except with my mom. With my mom, I don't know.
That's what I was saying. I thought you talked about it with your. Okay.
But
2,
otherwise, I have very secure attachment.
unstable or changing relationships.
I mean, no, I've been in a relationship for 4 years. It's been extremely stable. I've had the same friend since high school. So, no.
Number 3, unstable self-image, struggles with identity or sense of self.
Not since adulthood. Like when I was young, of course, but who doesn't?
4, impulsive or self-damaging behaviors like excessive spending, unsafe sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating.
I do like to spend money. I do like to buy my little things. But not reckless, no. I've made bad decisions, like, letting Destiny eat me out. That was a horrible decision.
Oh, brother,
Oh my
please,
God.
please, why?
No, I'm thinking about the in adulthood bad decisions that I've made that were impulsive, and that is the only one that comes to mind. Like that is the only one that comes to mind. Otherwise, like I've never drank, I've never done drugs, I've never like recklessly driven, never had a speeding ticket even. Like I just don't. That's the only thing I can think of is
Okay.
like
All right. Suicidal behavior or self-injury.
When I was coming off of Klonopin, yeah, but no, not my normal. And obviously, I cut myself as a teenager. But
I was gonna
I
ask,
haven't.
have you cut yourself as an adult?
I think I cut myself. I cut myself after the Destiny thing. I was spiraling, but I before that it had been probably the years, maybe 19 was the last time. Before that,
Varied or random mood swings.
like attached to my period, yeah, but those are like
Constant
directly
feelings
hormonal.
of worthlessness or sadness.
Not worthlessness. Sometimes, no, not even sadness. Honestly, I don't really have depression problems. I have more anxiety problems.
Problems with anger, including frequent loss of temper or physical fights.
No.
And 9 is stress-related paranoia or loss of contact with reality. Yeah, like I said, there's no shot you at BPD. Like, I remember literally like fighting with my audience about this early on, where other people would say, "Oh, she's definitely got BPD." I'm like, "Nah, no shot, dude.
Yeah,
No
I don't-
shot. This is not BPD. It could be like bipolar, possibly, but not BPD.
No, I was
No
coming
freaking
off.
way.
I was coming off of a benzodiazepine. That changes you. That literally changes you. It's
But we didn't know that
horrifying.
at the time. You said that
I
for the
kind of
first
said it.
time
I said it
on my
a month
show.
afterward. A month afterward, I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like, that was really gnarly. In fact, I didn't even realize how bad the Klonopin was affecting me because I was only on 0.5 milligrams a day. So I didn't even realize that coming off of it, because I stopped pretty cold turkey. I didn't even realize that coming off of it could affect me that much until like being on the other side, because it was such a low dosage. But I'm a small girl, so it obviously did affect me. But it was so out of character for me to act that way. Well, your comment section is saying, "Didn't you do meth at a Billie Eilish party?" No, you guys are
Why not?
insane. Sick is not a reliable source. Please, for the love of God.
I thought you said you got drugged.
Yes, I got like someone put something in my Shirley Temple. Like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, or that's what they think. Even that's what they think. All of a sudden, I had a drug screening, and they said that they found amphetamines in my thing. And I've never taken Adderall. I've never done anything. So it had to have been in my drink or in someone's jewel or something. Like it. There was no. Yeah, there's no. I've never done meth. And I've never done ecstasy. When you're like, this person says accidental meth happens a lot. It's in most pressed ecstasy pills. I've never taken ecstasy ever. So with my heart condition, any like if I would have taken meth at any point, my heart would have done what it did, and it never happened before that moment. So there's nothing ever. That I thought Lav said she hadn't had a drink. No, I've never drank, meaning I have never been drunk. I've had a couple sips of a beer or like a Cosmopolitan. I have had a couple sips, but I've never been drunk.
You've never gotten drunk before?
Never in my life.
Seriously?
Yeah, really. Actually, fun fact about me: I'm really like severely emetophobic, which is like a phobia of vomit.
Okay.
So I've always been too scared to drink because drinking means vomit. Yeah.
Wild.
Meanwhile, I'm
done
just sitting here. You
every
guys are talking
drug
about
under
drugs,
the
and I've
sun.
never done.
Yeah, I've not done Oh, Catnip is gonna come on.
Nice.
But yeah, I've smoked cigarettes.
Narco-Knight, no offense. If Catnip comes on, we might let you go, buddy.
All right, that's cool. No problem.
What's up, Vic's Life?
Well, actually, I probably might just go right now because it's getting up really late and I got to go to work.
I appreciate you jumping on.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too, Lav.
See ya.
Later, bud. Yeah, I guess
cannot
like, yeah.
believe you entertained this, Tom. I cannot believe you entertained this.
What?
One of your comments says, "I can't believe you entertained this."
Oh yeah, there's Catnip there.
Oh, we wait and we wait. Okay, maybe a sip here and there. Yeah, of course I've taken sips of alcohol before. I'm not like it's not that I don't drink because I'm like morally against it. I just
What's
don't
up,
get drunk.
Catnip?
Hello, Catnip. Oh, muted. Catnip, you're
Yeah,
muted.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How are you guys?
So good.
Doing well.
So good. You wanted to talk to me, and then I saw that you talked to Smith, and in his title it said Lav 2.0 Meth Lav.
Yeah, so the first time I ever called Destiny, he for some reason told his stream that Lav was calling him. I don't know why.
What?
I think he tries to, yeah, he's like, guys,
misses you.
Lav's calling, He does that a lot.
He misses you,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really a manifestation.
Yeah, I think he told me his stream coined me Meth Lav after the first time, and I think he told me because I asked him if he could ask his stream to not do that, and he said that I would have to prove that I'm not you.
Oh,
Like
yeah. You
prove my
the
loyalty.
evil.
I don't know.
Yeah, the evil that is me. You have to prove that you're not going to be a bad guy, a villain
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah.
They all have
Yeah.
they all have trauma from
See,
Lav,
like
so
I watched a lot of the lore, what he put out at least,
Yeah.
and it was a wild ride. And there was some things that you said that I didn't necessarily agree with, but nothing like too crazy, whatever. But definitely the energy was pushing towards this community was like, you're just unhinged, crazy, everyone should hate you kind of vibe.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I felt that in the community all throughout all of it, and I'm like, this is weird. Cause like, I asked him too when I was on a stream, like, do you need a mediator? You guys want to talk? Cause like you're, obviously he's making a bunch of content about you. Like, I didn't know if like is this scripted? Like at a point, but then like a private conversation I had with him actually, he had said live on his stream that he wanted you to unalive. And I was like, whoa, that's like because I had heard him say it to other people. I'm like, maybe it's like satire, maybe he's joking. But then when I asked him on that private call, I'm like, do you really want her to unalive? And I also brought up in that call that I kind of thought he had conducted himself like a little bit like a cult leader, like with the Anna thing and like just the way his community works a little bit.
I want to go on the record.
He didn't disagree, laughed a little bit. I'm just talking about a private phone call I had with him, sorry. But I asked him, the point of what I'm saying is, I asked him if he really felt like that you should do that. And he said, she ruined my life. Of course I want her to do that.
Ruined his life.
Or she tried to ruin my life. The attempt was enough for him to want you to unalive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he said, I remember when he put in his chat that I should kill myself or something. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I had felt that, and I didn't see anything like I didn't dig into the Mr. Girl report or anything. I saw the whole thing, like, and him reacting to it, but I was never like, I'm not gonna read that, like, until Smith actually made a video about it. And then Smith is like, he's a cute guy, he's funny. I like how he put it together. I actually sat and watched it, because I never got around to reading it. But the stuff in there, I was just like really feeling like the energy of like what I experienced when I was on stream, and yeah, the stuff that he said on that phone call along with the report, and I'm just like, this is fucking weird. To the boiling point where I went on a stream the other day, because it was after I heard him say that, Hassan and Mike from PA should also unalive, and I asked him about it, and he said, yes, they're spreading misinformation. The world would be better off without them. Mm-hmm. So I just, I don't know if that's just me being a softy, sensitive little bitch or whatever, but I just think that's kind of fucked up with someone with a massive platform to do that.
He did eventually say it's probably not a good thing to say. Like, he did admit that it was not a great thing to say and that he was just getting in his emotions and being hyperbolic.
I mean, if I didn't have that private phone call with him, I might feel that way.
But well, I don't care if he actually thinks that I should or wants me to kill myself. Whatever. Like, he's entitled to wanting to. Yeah. He's entitled to thinking that. But I do think that when you say that in front of a live audience, you are like emboldening them to like go harass me, right? Like that's the problem,
right? And me bringing it up, a lot of people told me to end myself for me even bringing it up. So, like, Yeah, that's just like a small amount. Like he didn't make like a bunch of videos on me or anything like that. So and I saw like the Anna videos he made before he had removed them from his channel, and how people would go to her stream and constantly talk about him, and then they would just clip her and he'd make another video of it. And yeah, just
Yeah,
that
his life is like this never-ending loop of like content. He like when he goes to sleep, he like I don't every day he wakes up and he does the same thing, and it's all like his real life is so intertwined with the online that it's like I'd be so disassociated if that was my life. That'd be so gnarly.
right, right. To not
Yeah, that'd
even
be
feel the
creepy.
weight of a comment like that. Because me personally,
Yeah.
like I make sure I take breaks and I'm like with my support system when things get rough. I take breaks from streaming, like but yeah, to just not I could never make a comment like that towards someone, even people who have very much hurt me.
Oh, I could.
Um
I do, and I do.
okay.
I constantly do. I'm very guilty of also telling people to kill themselves and that they should kill
Mm-hmm.
themselves. It's always when I am mega online though. Like it is
Yeah.
always when I'm like very emotional mega online and, you know, I've never done it on
Stream.
I can't remember if I've ever done it on stream, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. And I definitely wouldn't. I don't know. I like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, I get that, but I guess that's where like a lot of his community feel like I'm in the wrong for bringing up like an actual example where it's like not everyone's that strong. Some people are like more sensitive, and yeah, you
Oh,
know,
for
I
sure.
looked up the youth suicide, or I'm sorry, the youth cyberbullying rates. It's like 14% report it, but then like 13% actually make like a serious suicide attempt. And I just think that like especially having such like a huge audience and normalizing those statements, and then like when asked about them, doubling down on how
Yeah, he
those
knows I
statements
went
are
to the
actually valid.
yeah, I went to the hospital after all of that. And he
Yeah,
knows that I went to the hospital because I told
that's
him
I'm sorry about
and
that.
Kyla and he yeah, he said that after knowing that I went to the hospital and like still made content on me after I told him that I went to the hospital.
I'm really
Hold
sorry
on.
to hear
So
that.
is it the people telling you to kill yourself that is the thing, or is it the like the mass amounts of bullying that is like the problem, and it's just insensitive to say that while you're getting massive amounts of bullying?
Well, I
Because I'm
think that
wondering if saying kill yourself actually like it increases the chances in
if it's
any way.
just no, I don't think so. I think it's really the vibe that you're putting out to your audience that
Yeah.
it's like okay to devalue someone to that extent. But if he
Okay.
just
Yeah.
told me like face to face you should kill yourself, I'd be like, okay, dude.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, that's a shitty thing to say, but it's not as much as like, yeah, like the audience factor and the normalization of that behavior and the encouragement of that behavior, honestly, when someone has a bad take or they're perceived as trying to ruin someone's life or spreading misinformation, however he justifies it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's like the least of my worries for him. I think that I don't know. If he acknowledges that it would probably was bad to do, then that's all you can really hope for. If you kill yourself
Yeah.
because someone tells you to kill yourself, you're like weak and you should die.
You really think that?
Probably. I don't know. I think that that's pretty ridiculous. Now I think if you're getting mass hordes of hate, that is
Yeah.
definitely like more.
Yeah, as a
That makes more
creator, it's
sense.
different. Like as a content creator, like I don't know, like the specific reference I brought up was a streamer Byron, who I talked to and my partner worked for, and there's like a clip of him directly like telling his audience like, hey, like when you tell me to kill myself, like that really hurts me. So I think it's like there's a specific portion of the population that's more sensitive to those comments than others, but I actually found out recently from people in DGG that someone ended themselves live in DGG.
Whoa. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. And that freaked me the fuck out. So I think that's like why when I heard Destiny say like, you know, Hassan and Mike from PA should end themselves, that like I was like, wow, like can we just stop normalizing
Yeah, it's
like
a little.
telling people
Wait,
to do
so
that?
in like a VC?
In DGG told me this. Like when I was in the group
I
with everyone, they told me that happened. I don't know if that's correlation. I'm not saying that's correlation, but I'm just
no, I'm
saying like
asking what does it mean
I'm
to do it live? Like are they like texting
they
or are
did
they
it
in a
in like
VC
live,
or
I guess, like on video in DGG is what they told me. And a lot of
I
people
also-
corroborated
let me just
that
say
are
really-
frequent in DGG.
Really quickly,
Wow.
everything that you say right now is going to get clipped and sent back to him. So make sure that you are.
That's okay. That's on everyone in DGG who's a regular in there who told me that happened. I'm not saying it's correlated, but I'm just saying that it's not something to be taken lightly to normalize
sure.
saying this to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
never
that's.
heard about this.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, dude. On Discord though, that shit's like.
I don't know. It does affect
I've
people
seen
because
two
when
people kill themselves on VC and
that's
Discord
fucked. That's
in the
really
last
fucked.
year. Yeah, it was.
Someone did it live on Twitch. Like there was a fucking shooting live on Twitch. Like a lot of
Oh,
fuck
God.
shit goes down.
Yeah.
It's
The
not.
internet is a good
It's
place.
not just
It's actually-
DGG. I'm not
I mean,
blaming
honestly,
Destiny for the toxicity, but
it feels crazy that it hadn't happened sooner in DGG. It's such a big community. If it did happen, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Like you said, you were in the hospital after everything. Even if you've like said shitty comments yourself, like you were in the hospital after like the mass amounts of everything and the videos and all that, and probably misrepresentations of who you are.
Yeah, but, I mean, not even just misrepresentations. Like he full on like lied about.
Yeah,
me.
yeah, for sure.
Like, and I think I don't know if you followed it at all, but for a really long time I was like coping for a while, and I'd be like, well, I don't think he's that. I don't think he's abusive. I don't really agree with Mr. Girl on everything. Like I was really sort of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out for like a couple months about all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in one stream he like says something like, oh, should I tell everyone what you said about Connor, who's my fiance? And I was like, what? And then he made it seem like I sexually said something bad about Connor to him, which is like complete bogus. And I remember like in that exact moment I was like, oh, he's willing to do and say anything to like make me look bad. Like he's willing to just blatantly lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and he
so
did
sorry.
that with me as well.
I
Like
wanted to
he
meet
told him
Catnip.
what he knows is a lie.
I don't know if I want to relive all of this here. Sorry.
What for what reason? What are you scared of, Tom? This is so
I'm
over.
not scared
It's so
of
over.
anything. Well, it's not over if you're bringing it back up and talking about it again, right? It's not so over. And
the point I was trying to make,
no, like it is over. I'll never like I'm not going to be in orbit again. He can talk about this if he wants to. I don't.
Well, that's the thing. It's not over for him because not only was he called me Lav 2.0 after the recent stream we did, I believe. Someone told me that. And he also called Merc the Perk, or people in his community were calling her Lav 2.0.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
She also reached out to me and wanted to talk, so I'm like the go-to now. I'm like the grandmother of harassment. No, this is what I will say. And this is what I wish someone would have told me instead of what Mr. Girl told me. You are completely in control of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide to have a breakdown, to stop talking about it, to keep bringing it up, to make it worse, to speak in hyperbole, to cry online. Like you are in complete control of your reaction, and everything you do he will make a response to, because he's a streamer and he does not live in real life, and this is all like not real to him. He doesn't see us as people. He doesn't see you as like a functioning, valued person. So he will make content. So you either okay that by keep talking about it, which I've done at this point. At this point, I don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I was like, I don't want to make my stream about Destiny, but people like his community will just come in on like multiple accounts and just like spam it until I talk about it. So
yeah,
it's
they still do that. They still do that to me all the time, and then they'll be like, "God, you're so obsessed," and I'm like, you guys asked me, like, what are you? Yeah, I don't know. And then he does that too. He'll like,
what
she's like,
Scribble told me is that they were waiting for their next Lav, that they need someone to hate. Scribble
they want me to come back every fucking day. I get messages, come back to stream. And then 2 weeks ago, he was like, well, I don't have beef against her anymore. We might get her back. Like, it's insane. He, like, doesn't... the whole thing is like it's like the Maury show. It's like Jerry Springer. So I don't know. Just don't take it too seriously. As long as you like, this is my problem is that I never got offline. I never got offline during this time because like Max kept pulling me back to it. And because I wanted to be online because I was like addicted to it. I was addicted to reading all the comments about me. So it's not all Max's fault, obviously. I had agency. But I needed someone to tell me to get the fuck off, and not like as a punishment to me, but as like just to be real, just to be a person. Because DGGers, like, you're not going to meet them in person. And if you do meet them in person, they're like too nervous to come up and fucking talk to you. Like these people feel very brave on a keyboard, and they're very... DGG is not known publicly for being a very great, understanding, and like functional community, right? Like these are disenfranchised men, and these are, socially inept men.
Do you think that's fixed? Or do you think
I think his type of content
specific to DGG? That's people who are permanently online in general.
Yeah, that's people who are online, people who are on Twitch. I don't think it's just DGG. I think it's definitely rampant in Vosh's community, definitely rampant in Hassan's community. So, yeah.
Which is honestly why I wanted to talk to Destiny in the first place, though, is because I just don't think that is fixed, and that doesn't, like, Destiny doesn't need to be, like, but Hassan
can change him. You can be
no. But that's why I brought up Byron, honestly, but he thinks that, he's on his way out anyways, and as somebody who's, I don't know, I've been on the internet since I was 13, I've experienced a lot of fuck shit, and it's like, yeah, you can just, like, leave the internet, but a lot of people have really shitty lives, or not many, like, social, like, networks, like, outside of that, so it's just... I don't think that the most sensitive people online should just fuck off and just get told to, like, kill yourself. No, but I think there should be more conversation about that.
I don't know. I think sensitive people should avoid online completely. This is like the Wild West.
I wouldn't say online completely, but I do think that if they need safe spaces, they should probably just stick to safe spaces. Like, most people probably don't need safe spaces, and so they don't just try to stay in safe spaces. Catnip, have you been streaming for a while? How long have you been doing content?
I've been making content off and on since I was 13. I'm 27 now. I started, like, doing work online full-time at 19.
Wow. I didn't... Yeah. I guess I hadn't seen you before until your recent conversation with Destiny, so I didn't know. And you sounded like you had known him before that.
Yeah, I went on this spring. I actually... I've seen him around since I started streaming on Twitch when I was 17. So, yeah, I'm not, like, new to the community. Kind of saw his, like, rise a bit. Got more invested into this content, actually, after Byron committed suicide. Because there was a video of Destiny doing shrooms with Byron that I was really interested in, because I'm really passionate about shrooms. Byron is Wreckful. Oh. So that's when I started getting, more involved in Destiny's content. My partner, who I had met through Healthy Gamer Discord, actually, because I'm very much a person who struggles to make friends in real life. I'm very autistic in that way, which is why I'm passionate about what I'm saying. But I met my partner who worked for Byron in Healthy Gamer, and we bonded a lot after Byron passed, actually. And he was really into DGG, and I would kind of see the way that his involvement in these communities would, like, have an impact on him as well as, like, other people. So, and I also noticed, like, how it would impact me, like, the further I got involved in it. And some of these people that are in his community are in there, every single day, which is why I brought up to Destiny that it's like the way that they react and the way that they treat people when something goes wrong, and the way he psychoanalyzes them and makes fun of their mental illness, their BPD, it's like a very strong core of toxicity within the internet that Destiny is in a lot of control of. And if that's the way he wants to operate and he wants to continue to perpetuate that, he's free to do that. But I am passionate about what my life experience is and what I have to say. So I very much felt the need to, ask him about it and just be another voice that's like, hey, maybe there's a better way. Maybe, and that's like one of the first things I talked about on his stream was mushrooms. I'm sorry, go ahead.
When you say your experience, do you have BPD?
Yeah, and I think the thing about, like, BPD and mental illness is a lot of people will scapegoat certain people, and it's like it will make them worse off. And I think that's what a lot of people misconstrue about BPD is. They're like, just avoid people with BPD. You know, they're evil people or whatever the fuck. But it's largely impacted on like how your environment treats you. And as someone like who grew up on the internet, I've been a sponge to like a lot of that. And rather than continuing to retreat, which I've taken long breaks, it's like the toxicity remains, if not, if anything, it grows. Like the suicide rates, the cyberbullying rates, it gets worse. And it does affect the real world. Like you see that, like Destiny talks to Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is meeting with fucking Donald Trump and Kanye West. And here's Bassem Youssef on Piers Morgan talking about Nick Fuentes. It's like this stuff, like, leaks out into the rest of reality. It's not just isolated on the internet. Like the internet's the Wild West. The internet is like becoming integrated with real life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an extension of reality. Can I ask you a question, Catnip? I didn't want to interrupt y'all. And
yeah, no worries. Sorry, I was passionate about that.
No sweat. This is your conversation. You know, definitely a fourth wheel. As you're getting older, and whatever, fuck the red pill perception of all that. Do you feel that your perception of, valuing other people's opinions and your own resilience to whether it's bullying or criticism, where you can realize like that person's judging me, but that's just because they're lost in their own bullshit. It has nothing to actually do with me. And you're able to maybe separate some of the weight that those statements have on you. Not to say that you can be completely immune, and especially when it's in mass, right? I know that porn star August Ames decided to control delete because there was just a complete onslaught online, and it's like the whole world, not just a neighborhood or a group of friends, but the whole world wants me off the planet. And it's I can make room for where it's like, you know what, I can't fully conceptualize that mass of hate. Although I've been canceled and dealt with like a few hundred, my own shit. The point I'm trying to get at in the question really is, how do you feel? Because it is quite a daunting task to change the whole culture, especially internet culture, and especially like lonely, desperate, resentful men who are just sitting there alone as fuck in chat rooms, venting their shit out and using people online as like, they don't even necessarily think their message is going to get read, and some of them will stalk your shit and go to your Instagram and like really be cancerous, right? But I tried to say this to Lav as well when I started to get to know her, to try and put some perspective on it. It's like, these are lost, sad people, and it may hurt to read it, but it's like the thing that's in your control is building your resilience, building the thicker skin, and changing your perception, or like growing, becoming more wise to go, yeah, this person's saying toxic shit, but I don't respect them enough to ever follow through on such a thing.
Well, also you think about the type of person. You think about the type of person who leaves like a hate comment like to a stranger. That's like unhinged behavior.
Right.
I've done angry, crazy shit. I've never done anything like that. Like to leave a comment on someone's like account or something, that not even to for them to end their life or something. Cause that's another actual mental illness.
Anger.
But even to like critique a stranger, I've never done in my fucking I've never done that in my fucking life. You think about those sort of people, and they make the world go round. These are the people who buy things and make companies rich and do like crazy, whatever. But they give Destiny. They've made him a millionaire, right? But it's like, those people are not by virtue of just not being someone who does this, you win. Like by virtue of you not being someone who does stuff like that, you win. You have a better life. Like you just have a better life. So if you put that into perspective, it's almost like it really doesn't matter. Like these people are sick.
Bullets
these people are sick.
Off
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like with support system though, we can like reassure each other of that. Like we clearly have that. We've built that over time. But say at like my weakest moments, and like you mentioned August Ames, like Etika, Byron, I know I'm in the sex work industry. I've been in it since I was 19. I know so many sex workers that are no longer with us. And it's like, also from that community, so many of us are traumatized, and to see so many people like willingly say so many fucking hurtful things to each other, it's like, it's hard. It's hard. And I don't want to like normalize it staying that way, because we can hold people accountable without going to like such extremes of like telling them to end their life, or like psychoanalyzing them and telling them to just how horrid they are, like whatever amount of like bullying it is and like targeted harassment towards a specific person. It's like, when you remove their ability to grow, it makes people feel like, well, the world would be better off without me.
The thing is that people who don't have the mental illnesses, they get treated exactly the same. They don't have the mental illness weaponized against them, and it may not affect them as much. So it's like they see everybody on the internet is like, they have anonymity. They're going to act a bit differently when they have anonymity.
Yeah.
That seems to be pretty consistent, but they're not, I don't think, like, it almost sounds like they're targeting mentally ill people, and I don't think that that's the case. That it's like, this is the way everybody gets treated all the time. They'll take off with narratives that aren't true on the internet. Again, not Destiny's community, just people on the internet take off with shit and turn them into memes, and it's obviously mentally ill people are going to struggle with this a bit more, but communities like this, like, there's a lot of times where we all just kind of have an agreement with each other that this is just the sort of toxic behavior that we like and that we enjoy and that we thrive in, and that people who struggle with this probably just shouldn't engage in these communities. And it's not like a point against them in any way. It's just that we're all freaking weird and we like this shit.
It's sort of, Catnip, you mentioned being a gamer for a long time, and like, I'm, dating myself. I got onto online gaming at the very beginning of Battle.net with Diablo and StarCraft, and the language, like, I learned the most vile. I know, right? You ain't seen, fucking boomer. I learned the most vile language through that shit, and then I'd say it to my brother at the dinner table. My mom's like, "Don't ever say that fucking shit again." I was like, "Oh, sorry, bro. Grape or whatever is a horrendous term that's like not a casual slur to just, or like SOB or piece of crap. Like, it's not, ooh, okay, so like gained context. But my point I'm trying to make is that culture has been there since the late 90s and is whatever. Like, there's so many people that, like you were saying, don't feel connected in their world outside of it. And everything's family friendly, and terms of service are very like lean, very left. And so people kind of just want this world where they're like, all right, I'm over 18. They called it mature language when I was a kid. Now I'm older and I can't say these things. Like, everything's baby proofed. What the fuck? But again, it's not to dismiss the fact that there is still potential harm to people. But as Tom and Lee were saying, I think it's like, either have your own communities, which are safe spaces and like very, very, like gender friendly and all that kind of stuff, where
oh, dude, Jupe, if I didn't have you during the whole Destiny stuff, like if I didn't have you and the people of Egg, I'd be so over for me. I wouldn't have been here. I don't thank you enough for that. You were such like a rock to me during that time. It was so sweet.
Hey,
you didn't have to do that.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was really sweet. But that was so important, is to like have like a
Totally
like a
gay,
place
but I
where
mean, I
you could
appreciate the
go.
fuck out of that. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Just a place where you can go that, these people are like, I mean, a lot of how I got over at least like the emotional brunt of all of that harassment was just people telling me that it didn't make them think of me any. For some reason I felt like the whole world would see everything those people were saying about me and then like believe it, and then I was like fucked forever. Like, I was just like, anyone I'd ever met would know that I was like this awful, horrible person these people were telling me that I was. And then the more I went outside, the more I realized that nobody cared at all. And it's this tiny, tiny subset of people who that really believe this about me, which is fine. They can have their opinions about me. But like, the people I love don't care about this. Like, nobody nobody from my real life who saw any of that loved me any less. Like, but you really think when you're reading all those comments, like, you really, really believe it. But I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people don't really know what they're getting into, because I wasn't really like that day calling Destiny for a debate. I didn't think that was like a guarantee in that environment. And I think a lot of people just join and they don't exactly know what they're getting into. And I know you're really grateful for the support you had after. And after I was getting all the comments that I was, like, right after the recent stream, like, yeah, I was stress puking because I guess I'm weak or whatever. But it took the people in my real life pulling me out of it and being like, hey, like, you are good, you are valuable. And like, that's like, for some people, it really does take other people pulling them out of that. And I guess like the point I'm kind of trying to make is most not people. Everyone has that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, you're not weak. You can call it fragile, sure, or like maybe you don't have the thick skin. It's very human, and we're social creatures. Like, the whole pandemic thing, and especially when it was like, all right, this percentage of the population can just fucking live in a cage or eat in a tent outside, people really started to feel like, I started to feel like, it was like, bro, do you just forget the last 20 years of me as a person because of this? It's just, fuck you, you're an animal. And as far as you're concerned, my social experience can wither away so far that I will eventually just choose to unplug. I already had enough reasons to call it quits, but like now I lose participating in society. So whatever. Point I'm trying to make is it's very human to be like, I kind of need a shoulder to cry on or a hand on my back to lean, whatever the fuck it is. Although again, you know, always try to be stronger than the and contextualize the bullshit so that you like disarm what's being shot at you. It's just, yeah, you're just a human being, man. Don't be like too hard on yourself or think you gotta put yourself down.
Also,
that way.
think about this. Also, the opposite of that. The opposite of being sensitive and leaving quickly is that you become Destiny, who's dealt with this for over 10 years. 10 years, he gets
Mhm.
constant hate. Can you
Yeah.
imagine what that
Yeah,
does
I
to a
imagine that.
person?
Right.
Like
Well, yeah, most people aren't built for
sadness.
that at all.
Yeah, and Destiny talks about he's like, oh, it doesn't affect me.
That.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
it
that's
affects him
bullcrap.
more than
Don't
he
do the
leads
deep
on. It really
sadness
does.
Of course it does.
There's no-
Of course
there's
it does.
no-
You
it
have to
doesn't.
pretend it doesn't, otherwise it'll encourage the malicious people to do it more. You have to like be that.
I don't like it, maybe that's true, yes, that people like care less if you care less, but I don't think that it requires deep sadness to do this
and
for
now
a long
because
period of time.
not okay, maybe not deep sadness, but even maybe avoidance, like the fact that I think that part of why he wants to make villains is so that he is not the villain, right? You shift. He's like very constantly shifty, so that he is like, you know, the Superman of the story. So he's this hero of the story or the victim of the story.
This is just part of like the types of engagements. We're talking about debates that like the type of content we're doing is like where we are like getting into it, yelling at each other, cussing at each other, like going after each other personally.
Sure.
Like
yes,
it
but,
is just
but
like
absolutely
essential to
yes,
the type
but
of
Tom,
content
it
that
is
we're
very
doing.
different. It is very so like even what we did, me and Andrew did in the debate earlier, where it was like we're not particularly like friends. There were personal attacks on both ends, and yet we still shake hands at the end of the day, move on with our lives, right? Steven does not do this. He doesn't do this. It's
A
like
vendetta.
his real life is intertwined with this, and then it gets
So
so
you're just saying that
personal,
he's
and
not
then
performative to where he's going to go on and say things that like in a way that he doesn't really feel it. Like you're saying that he's
Well,
he's a bit
I
more
asked him
honest
to
with
have
the
a
way that he talks
conversation
to
to
people.
clarify what I actually felt, and he said that he's 1,000,000% sure I'm an abusive person, and that he only wanted to talk to me again on stream for content. So
he said I
it's like as
sexually
much
abused him.
right, like as he called me a crybaby too. As much as it like might be
Yeah.
performative, it's affecting who he is as a person and the way he conducts himself. Because like I tried to like have a human conversation with him after because I felt like the way he like did it was a bit misrepresentative of who I am, and he knowingly lied about one thing. So I wanted
Everyone's
to
a
have like a
crybaby.
clarifying conversation because it made me feel gaslit. It made me feel like that wasn't fair. So yeah, I feel like he can conduct himself like publicly very abusively, but then privately he's like gaslighting me and telling me I'm the abusive one. So it's yeah, I don't know.
There's lots of people who don't like to hear feedback on themselves, and that's like a big problem with the way that people engage with comments and see other people's thoughts about them and the way that they performed. And it's hard.
true.
And again, like a lot of people just like
It's
aren't really
unnatural
built
for the human
this,
brain to
and-
see that.
He
Yeah, sure.
knowingly lied.
Like
so,
I 100% agree that like I don't think that
Yeah.
this is like a normal thing for most people.
No, and you have to, if you aren't someone who can read those things, then you just should not. You just should not read the comments. Like that's
Yo,
or just
Joe
should not
Rogan
stream.
even says it. Joe Rogan's like the biggest dude in the world, and he's got like all the money. He's friends with like the kings of whatever industry, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't read comments. That's how I deal with the stress. He's like, I just don't
Yeah.
read them.
Mhm.
I'm living my life.
Yeah.
Fuck those people. And
Yeah,
really,
my life
like,
is so much
as-
better now that I don't read comments.
for real,
So
and,
much,
like,
especially on TikTok. Holy shit!
oh my god,
Holy
the
shit,
younger
it's
you
so much
skew,
better.
the more retarded it gets. And,
Yes.
like, just toxic and
Yes.
unnecessary and bullshit. And it's like, bro,
Yes.
you are 17 years old.
Respectfully,
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yes.
To
Getting
anyone
off of
above
Reddit,
25 or whatever.
Getting off of Reddit. Holy
Yeah.
fuck!
Yeah.
Game changer.
I grew up on the
Game
internet. I've never
changer.
typed on Reddit. Yo, fuck that. I tried to join the Flagrant podcast, and I was like, I can't be looking at these forums. Fuck it. It's cool to see this research on there, but I can't go down the rabbit hole. And your
Yeah.
life is short. that was the point I was gonna make.
Yeah,
As you
that's
get
true.
older, maybe lose friends, whatever. I don't want to be too dark. You realize it's like I got 24 hours in a day. I have my goals in front of me. I have the people I love, whatever relationship, family, friends, and shit. Like I'm not gonna waste an hour like diving down the spiral of some fucking loser when I could have been playing guitar or like I could be masturbating right now, be more productive than this. Like,
True.
Right. That's
respectfully,
why,
sorry.
like, today I was listening to an audiobook on stream and, like, I kept getting spammed to talk about it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
my stream's not
The
about him. Like,
content.
this is, yeah, but they want to milk
The
it for the clips and the content. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the demon of whatever it is. Twitch ball, I guess.
This world is very small. I like this world. I mean, it
Mhm.
feels huge. It feels huge. Like 200,000 or like 1 million people feels like very big when you're like just a tiny like content creator. But in the grand scheme of things, it's really nobody. It's really nothing. Like
Yeah.
you could go your whole life and never meet one of these people walking in the street. So I think
When you
that's
realize
good.
how
and
many people there
respectful.
are in a million, and then how many millions there are in a billion, you're like, wait a minute. Okay. We're good.
Yeah, but you don't, Catnip. To me, from the very little time that I've known you, you don't seem egregious. You don't seem evil. You don't seem like you're a problem. You just seem like you're sensitive and you got caught up. And people like to leverage this cryboy thing. Everyone's a fucking cryboy. This
Right.
space enables
Exactly.
cryboying. Like every
Except for
single
me, I'm
person
perfect.
does this. The heroes of the space do it. The villains of the space do it. We all do the same patterns, and yet we're all like this Spider-Man meme pointing at each other saying, "Look at how evil this person is," but also doing the exact same thing. I am guilty of this. Max is guilty of doing this. Steven is guilty of doing this. You're probably guilty of doing this. Tom is definitely guilty of something.
But that's actually
I've
the
never
point I
been
was
guilty
like
of
making
anything.
with Destiny. It was like when he's calling for like Hassan to end himself, Control Alt Delete, and Mike to end themselves because spreading misinformation. My point was that like you can also do this sometimes. So I don't know. It just does. I get the like bullying for content kind of thing, but it just with the statistics I looked up about it feels wrong to go to the extreme of like on a stream with thousands of people calling for people to end their lives.
do you
Again,
think
I feel like he
do
said,
you
though,
think
that he
you
shouldn't
telling
say
him that is
though.
going to change anything?
He literally said,
No,
"I
but I'm
should
glad that
not-
I brought it up
probably
because
shouldn't
some
say
people
this."
like actually are grateful that I said something to him about it because he doesn't get a lot of feedback about that. They said.
Yeah,
I
he
think that
but
he
he did
does.
say, "I probably shouldn't say this," and that it's he said that it was hyperbolic and that he was just getting a little caught up. Like,
He said it was a prank. He said it was just a prank.
I was kidding, bro. I said JK.
He was just kidding. He was literally just kidding.
I said in
it's
Minecraft,
no, it's
bro.
not it's not a
Totally solves
joke. It's
everything.
that like, yeah, you get
I know, I'm
pissed off
kidding.
at
I'm
people
kidding.
who are actually pretty malicious with the stuff that they're spreading on the internet.
Yeah.
And it is harmful. Like, it is insanely harmful and divisive. And when they're capable of just saying a bunch of insane things to massive groups of people with no pushback whatsoever, and nobody holding them accountable in any way, it is disgusting. And like, obviously killing themselves is a little over the line, but damn, dude, like,
Here's the thing.
the-
I actually love the expression. I don't want to say too many times so you get demonetized, but I love the expression of fucking Control Delete yourself in whatever way you choose to phrase that. And it's, to me, a figure of speech to say, I don't want to be experiencing you in my consciousness anymore. So basically it's like, delete yourself from my fucking page, unfollow me on Instagram, whatever you need to do. Get the fuck away from me. I don't like engaging with your consciousness anymore. I get that when 99.99% of the population hears it, they think you're actually saying find a bridge and then do the rest from there. But I'm just saying that, like, especially as a person who's very much, faced this demon and been very close and intimate with it, each choose colorful language.
We're intimate with the demon.
The demons of fucking death. Let's go. I came out the other side insane and invincible or something like that. But yeah, it's just like even with you, Lav, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm like, ooh, tempted, or like, can I join? It's just,
Is it normal to you guys how many people actually truly have tried or want to kill themselves?
is it normal
Yeah.
to me? No, I think it's
Like, does it
horrendous,
feel like it's
especially
like what's destined to be like where we should be, or like should we like try and I don't know improve
No.
society in some way so we're not always like
we
I don't
should
know. A lot of people I
100%.
know like quite frequently do feel like Control Alt Deleting.
Right,
I mean,
but
again, I,
I
think that
100%
there's a problem with
Nobody asked
anonymity.
to be
Like
born.
anywhere people are capable of saying a bunch of egregious things without any sort of pushback or being held accountable. Like
I
this
also
is the
think it's
case
a
on
very-
Xbox Live. This is the case in like chat rooms early on in AOL. This is just
I
like
also
a
got
pretty
groomed
common
in
thing
chat
with
rooms early on,
anonymity.
and I don't want to normalize that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't try to improve society in every way. Like we're constantly trying to evolve and reduce suffering and increase well-being and all this sort of optimize human life and like reduce poverty. All these dimensions of whatever the economy, the fucking environment, everything. Eventual space travel. Point though is I think that being told by strangers on the internet, especially like just an individual, or even an individual but it's like a person versus, again, I get it if it's in a mass. There's like thousands of people. Like I've never gotten this many notifications on my Instagram ever, and it's all people who want me to delete my life and lose all my content. Whatever. It's just the onslaught. I understand, but versus, I don't think that it's not that someone told you that in a chat room. It's like so much of it, the rest of your life is fucked. And those are the issues. I think if you solve all that and you're like, I have friends to go back to, I have a good job, I'm not starving, I'm not already thinking about it every day, where like maybe that's going to be the last straw, I guess. But
I think the
uh,
bigger problem over even cyberbullying is loneliness and like
I agree.
and intimacy not being like super accessible to everyone, because obviously that's like the bigger problem, right? Like nothing online can get you to like actually kill yourself. It's lack of other things in your life. So yeah.
Yeah,
don't
there's
know.
obviously like you already have a bunch of other problems when somebody telling you on the internet to kill yourself is actually going to affect you at a like.
But I think like the internet could be a great tool, like when people are feeling that way, or maybe they're stupid or lonely or whatever, like to redirect
sure.
them to like
Yeah,
actual
this
resources.
is what they
and,
thought.
like,
This is what they thought in the
instead of, like-
90s, and then we got
There's
the
places
internet,
you
and
can
look
find
what
Hi,
it.
it's done.
Destiny.
Oh, it's all the worst people on the internet talking about me while I'm trying to sleep again. Nice.
Jube's
What?
done nothing wrong. Jube's done nothing wrong.
Hi, Destiny.
I landed under the bus. Shit. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, Jube's catching strays.
Hi, what's up,
Worst
Jube?
people on the internet, really? Of all the people?
You guys are up there.
Okay,
That's pretty big. If I'm gonna be known for something.
damn. So how are you doing,
It
Destiny?
was quite an arc.
Doing great. I just watched 21 Jump Street. Pretty funny movie.
Nice.
The first one.
Is that the Jonah Hill one?
Are there
Yeah.
multiple 21
And-
Jump Streets?
Yeah, there's
I think
two
it
of
was a
Yes.
them.
remake.
That was that was like a super popular show.
Well, not the
Wasn't it?
show.
With Johnny
There's
Depp?
two movies. I think the second one's like 22 Jump Street or something like that, but the first one's hilarious.
Well, did you have something to say?
I mean,
No, isn't this
y'all
like a
had a
public
lot
room?
to
Just
say.
wanted to hang out, with my best friends.
Okay, well,
Aw.
how have you been?
Pretty good. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm starting a podcast next week.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, with this girl named Emily Wilson. Her @ is Emily Saves America on Instagram.
Emily
She's like
Saves
this,
America.
Yeah, she's like this conservative, like Gen Z commentator, and we're gonna have a fun little rapport.
Wow. What are you guys going to talk about?
I think next week we're talking about the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
Nice. Starting off
Just
easy.
light
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, light stuff.
Relevant, though?
Just putting our toes in the water, and then I think like race realism. Like the light topics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is so fun.
Destiny, you supposedly lied about catnip.
I
You
what
wanna
about
answer for
catnip?
that?
You are stirring the pot.
You lied about catnip.
What did I lie about?
You said that you said it was fine after I explained to you that the person who suggested that you pay for dinner because they didn't know you and they were kind of sus of you, so they suggested that, so I passed on the suggestion. I explained that to you and you said, "Don't worry, you're fine." And then you posted in DGG chat about how it wasn't fine and that was actually me wanting your money. And yeah, I felt that was kind of weird. You can go off what
Why'd
I
you lie
actually
about
said in
that,
the video,
Destiny?
but why further spread the narrative that I'm like some kind of gold digger or something?
I said, I fly home and arrive tomorrow night. You said, what time? I said, 10:30. You said, can my squad come? Are you down to hang? We have to go to the airport at like 4 a.m., but we'd be down if you have the time. And I said, okay, hey, yo, we can meet at a restaurant called Big Pink on Miami Beach at like 11:30 if you guys want. And then you said, my friend said, if you pay, we can. And then you sent me a bikini pic of all three of you.
Which was her idea.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you think that I miscommunicated any of our messages, I don't think I did, but those are our chat logs. There you go.
But then later I heard you mention something about it on stream, and then I said, hey, yo, was like that about me? And then I clarified that it was her who suggested that, and then you said you're fine. So am I fine, or am I not fine about that?
Well, no, I thought it was incredibly funny.
Are you holding it against me?
Yeah, of course. No shit.
Why?
That's
a big grudge to hold.
It was super presumptive and kind of cringe. I mean, I don't like hate you for
Hey,
it, but
hey, I also had second thoughts, and honestly, I was people pleasing in that moment. I'm like, I guess if that's what she thinks is like, okay.
Well, these are
But
the
I
prices
was
we
happy
pay
paying
for
for my
people
own.
pleasing, you know.
I guess so.
No
But he's
good deed
obviously
goes
gonna.
unpunished.
I'm not fine
got
about
the
it, though,
information
apparently.
from you, right? So he's gonna assume, like he's gonna communicate.
Well, I
with
did-
you.
he just read the
This isn't like on the
message.
forefront of my mind all the time. I don't know. Are we
No,
thinking
it's
about
okay.
this a lot? Or?
I mean, you brought it up in your DGG chat after our recent stream, so apparently it's relevant to you.
Oh, I just thought it was funny to connect the lore because a lot of people don't. I guess like our.
I didn't realize you were leaking chats then for lore. I wasn't aware.
Well, now you are. No, you were aware because you messaged me right after I said that on stream. You're like, wait, was this about us? So you were aware.
I mean, I was aware, but I wasn't sure that you were gonna like after you said it was fine, like continue the narrative that that's what it was when you were like, no, it's fine.
Oh. Well, after we had a conversation and I realized you are a hardcore, emotionally manipulative and abusive person, I was like, fuck it. It's a funny story, so why not?
Why do you think that about me?
Catnip.
Yes.
Do you know who you are? Do you know who
Yes.
you are?
Yes, I do.
It doesn't even matter. Don't even ask the question.
Okay.
It doesn't even matter.
Okay, word.
Oh shit!
Word.
She's graduated. She's learned from Max. She has
Doesn't-
become
Destiny,
the
why do you think
manipulator.
that about her?
It doesn't even matter. If in your life the people close to you don't believe that, that's all that matters.
Yes, only the
people
ones
who
who
know
can
you the best.
manipulate. Those are the ones whose opinions matter.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
true.
people
Yes,
that
I
you
agree.
have the power, that you have
Yes.
that you have superpowers, and you can convince everyone in your life that you are good when you are actually bad. That
True.
is
Or you can just
something that is
aggressively
happening.
cut out the people that don't believe you and find yourself, surrounded by an increasingly smaller circle of people, and then blame all the other past ones for just not understanding.
That sounds familiar. Who does that sound like, Destiny?
Oh, wow.
I think he's in the room with us.
Is he really right now?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, interesting.
Don't
Oh,
talk
yes.
about me like
Destiny,
I'm right here.
famous for his
I'm talking
incredibly
about you.
small.
I'm talking about you.
Famous for his incredibly small circle of friends and acquaintances. That's me. Yeah. Didn't you just break up with Mr. Girl, by the way? You're a partner in crime. You guys spent,
My dad.
6 months writing 1,500 word takedown of me. I remember that.
I
Yeah.
wrote
two
it.
Harry Potter
I wrote
books,
it.
bro.
I
Holy
wrote it
fuck.
myself.
Yeah. Remember that time on stream when you and him were giggling awkwardly at each other and you're like, man, wouldn't it be weird if half this thing was about me and it ended up being about you for half of it? Wasn't that kind of strange?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That was kind of weird.
Bro, I wish I met you like enough earlier because I DM'd you between that conversation and you and Destiny beefing, and I wanted to be like, bro, the 4D chess move, just pull out, just let him sink his ship, and then make your decision in 2 months. But I was like, I
mean,
just fucking
should've
met you in
listened. I
Airdice
should've
server.
listened.
Yeah, but I was like, not in a place to be like, you should listen to this random guy that you
Oh,
met.
I
in
wouldn't
VC
have listened
fucking
to
5 days
even if
ago.
you did. I was so dead set. I was no, but
Yeah.
I was really. I was.
You even
driving
said
the
a second
boat.
ago, like Connor was saying the dad shit was weird. You're like, no, you just don't get it. You're like,
Yeah,
you were
dude.
locked
Everyone
in
my
that
life,
moment.
everyone in my life was like, dude, this guy's weird, and I was like, no, you don't know him like I do. You don't know him like I
He
do.
cast his spell. He stared into his camera, and you're
such
like,
good
I don't know why
lighting.
he's looking right at me, but I'm staring at a screen. This is so crazy.
Yeah, I was
Listen,
like,
don't
no, you
listen to
guys
other
don't. You guys
people,
don't get
as
it.
long as
He
you
really
know.
cares about me. He really cares about me more than anyone has ever cared about me. You don't get it. You don't get it.
Yeah, uncomfortably so. Like a dad
Yeah.
you did or didn't have. I don't know.
I mean, how
but-
good does it feel to get that much attention? Pretty good.
Well, so
For him?
hold on, Destiny. Why do you think Catnip is emotionally
Stop.
abusive?
Stop.
I think that when
Well,
people try
she-
to leverage incredibly personal things against you and then they attack you from it without like fully even understanding the issue with the goal of making you feel bad to persuade you of an unrelated argument, that's like a textbook 101 abuser tactic. And then when you're like pretending like you don't even see what you're doing My guess is she probably treats everybody in her life like this.
I'm not pretending. I just disagree with
Catnip.
you. Actually, I
Catnip,
do think
I don't
impacts-
believe him. I don't believe him.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just say this because I observed, and I think I know what Destiny's referring to. It's one part of what was going on, and I was being, however, empathetic. I'm not here to like shit on you, Catnip, because I'm whatever. I'm a fifth wheel at this point, really. But to bring up the suicides and to kind of be like, hey, Destiny, I want to criticize how you live your life and bring up something that is like potentially generally traumatizing. Destiny might be immune based on whatever I've heard through him speaking in like Dr. K interviews, this and that, but. Or I'd say more resilient than anyone else. But regardless, it's like to have that shit brought up is like in itself like the definition of triggering, right? So
right.
I think there's just some validity, if I can say, to what he's bringing up. And I'm maybe assuming, I assume I'm on track with this, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, excuse my phrasing, but it's like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are to come tell me anything right now from your position versus this like, I knew his name because I shook hands with the motherfucker, not because I watched him on a screen. It's like,
I think we're all just in our own bubbles.
So, yeah.
I think we're all just in our own
Hey, Brittany, I didn't see you in the call there. Holy.
I think this
It's
is
a
bubble
reunion.
situation. I think it's a bubble. Let's get her in here.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that like I can see.
Let's
that
get all of
perspective.
Destiny's abusers in here. Let's get
Oh my
every
gosh.
Destiny abuser in here.
The Avengers.
I can see
or
that
like the
perspective from
anti-hero
Destiny,
squad.
but something like if the conversation wasn't so heated, like maybe he would understand where I'm coming from better, and I could have probably worded what I said better. Like absolutely, I could have.
Sure.
But
I do think that he does know where you're coming from, but in a sense, is like, and I'm closer to his age and a guy and have my ego and certainties about myself to a certain degree. It's like I just don't fucking agree and I don't give a fuck about like.
How
So
old are
it's
you?
not that I don't understand. 32. I'm
Okay, I'm
not
27.
that
I'm
old,
not
but
that
old
far
enough.
off. Like
Yeah,
that's the
you
thing.
ain't hit the wall yet, but I'm across the edge. No, I'm kidding about that. I mean, like
I've been
both
through
of us.
I've been through some shit. I've been through some shit, and I did talk to Byron, and I saw him on Dr. K. And the thing is, it's like it's a bigger issue than that because
okay. I feel personally I feel
Wait,
really
can you mute
uncomfortable
Lav?
bringing
I
up
don't know why she
someone
keeps
who
trying to
passed
kill like
away.
every interesting conversation to divert it into retarded
No,
territory.
we can have this conversation later as well, Destiny. I'm down to have this
I'm-
conversation with you whenever you
should have
want
it in
because it's more
private.
personal.
You should have it in
Lav
private.
doesn't know, Byron.
No, I'm not having any conversation in private when it's all been addressed and brought up
Well,
publicly.
no,
That would be
but I'm saying
ridiculous.
like one-on-one. We don't have to do it in private. We can do it in public, but it doesn't have to be
happen
this
here.
conversation.
Jube actually, I don't know who the Jube guy is, but he actually sounds like a not autistic person on Discord, which is like one of the only times I've ever heard that in my entire life. So I think it was an interesting conversation.
My guy.
But if Lav wants to keep diverting into shit tier memes because she knows that the conversation is going to be challenging for Catnip, I mean, we can keep doing that until I go to sleep.
Yeah, Catnip said, like, obviously wants closure on this conversation. I don't know why you're
about a suicide like this. Please do this.
Yeah, I think that's what Lav wanted to bring up was really just a question to you, and then you can confirm or deny if you're comfortable with it. I think Destiny, she just like if the thing that was emotionally manipulative was bringing up Byron in the first place, I think she wants to see that you're actually comfortable him being continued to be talked about right now out of respect.
I'm comfortable
for, like,
talking about anything, bro. My whole life.
No, I know.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm just, I guess, translating for Lav there without.
I think it's
No, that's
I think it's
Lav is not
I think
speaking
it's
out of concern for me,
unfair.
she's speaking
I think
out of
it's
concern for
unfair.
Cat.
I think it is unfair of Catnip to bring this up, and I think that it is unfair for Destiny to keep talking about it publicly.
There you go.
Because he already said that he was uncomfortable with it.
Both sides in it. Get her.
Weird.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I feel you.
Nice.
He's not uncomfortable talking about it. He's uncomfortable with the way it was brought up.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a leverage is what he was.
Yeah, if I have enough time to talk to anybody, I will
So
manipulate
Catnip, did you mean to use it as leverage, Catnip?
Absolutely not. Byron meant a lot to me and my partner. That's how we met, and
Destiny,
we've actually been wanting to talk
her?
to people who knew him.
Will you ever believe her,
You
Steven?
can tell the intent of somebody based on the approach they take to the conversation.
Okay, yeah. So you will never believe her. And she
not
knows,
always,
and she
because
doesn't
I was
never-
triggered, and I can explain that further if you'd like.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, go for it.
I was very triggered because, like, I watched you and Hassan's first stream together, like that kind of thing, and just like the way that, like, post-pandemic, we've all kind of like devolved in a lot of ways. It seems, like, just it hurts me to like hear for you to like publicly like call for him to like end his life. That hurts me a lot. So I came at it triggered. Byron's death like hurt me a lot, affected me a lot. I got to talk to him, and my partner worked for him, so it wasn't just like a tool for leverage. It's just like, I just hope that you can, in these situations, like sometimes like view, even though Hassan might be like completely retarded in what he's saying, like just as somewhat of still a human. And I honestly would love to hear you guys talk someday, even though that might never happen. Maybe someone like Lex Friedman could mediate it. I think that would be groundbreaking, wonderful for everyone if you guys could have some type of conversation. But yeah, it deeply affects me to hear you say those things. So I did kind of want you to like see the like emotional impact that you might have on like not just Hassan or Mike or whoever, but like other people in your audience, like normalizing that type of behavior. Hence why I like showed you that clip of Byron, like literally telling his chat, like, hey, like it really hurts me when you say kill yourself. Like that really affects me.
Why do you think
and
that
not
you
everyone
show
is
me-
so sensitive,
Sure.
but some people are. Like Byron was a very sensitive person. I'm a very sensitive person. And like, especially if you're taking shrooms every day, you're going to be a very sensitive person. So yeah, he might have been like, quote, on his way out, or like whatever it was that you said, that like he already had issues and, you know, there was nothing that could have been done to help him. I disagree with that. I just
I
think
never
that-
said there's nothing that could have been done to help him. You're wildly extrapolating. I don't know
Okay,
why
I'm
you
sorry.
think linking me a YouTube video of him crying that your chat linked you in the middle of our conversation is going to be more triggering to me than waking up and getting messages. That
I
he's
don't want
thrown
that to
himself out of an
trigger
apartment
you.
window.
I
So
was
don't
just
know what the-
you were saying that it didn't affect him, and I was showing you evidence that proved otherwise. I was showing you evidence that indicated that it did affect him in
Okay.
some capacity, and
Just-
even if that's a small capacity, I think that
Okay.
capacity somewhat matters.
That's fine. Then next time, just say that instead of trying to trigger me with rectal suicide and my own best friend's suicide. That's just like a really weird way to approach the conversation. Clearly, you're just trying to like, I guess like
I just feel
emotionally
like you've
compromise
become
me to agree with-
desensitized to the topic, and I think that might not be good for you, honestly.
Become desensitized to the topic. I don't know
Yeah,
how,
of,
what
like, this
history
person
you've seen
should
of
kill
me-
themselves.
Okay, you get to talk a ton. Let me finish a
Sorry.
sentence. Okay, I've been on the internet for a long time. Okay, my
So
content
have I,
where it's at
buddy.
right now is
Old.
tuned
So have I.
way. I don't know what you have to do with any of this. I'm talking about my approach to online content. Okay, so when you say I become desensitized, okay, my content has become immensely toned down compared to where it used to be. Okay, 13, 14 years ago. It's not even close. So the idea that I've become desensitized doesn't even fit with the narrative of my own stream. If you don't like me saying a particular thing, or if you don't like somebody saying a particular thing, then approach that person like an adult and say, hey, listen, we need to be able to kill themselves, kind of insensitive, you know? I think that when you take into account your friends maybe have had issues with suicide, or, you know, people publicly listening to you might have issues, you know, maybe chill that out. Instead of being like, didn't your fucking friend kill himself and Rectal kill himself? Right? Like you're
That's
trying to like
not how
score
I
points.
said it. That's not how I said it. I know that's how you
Wait,
perceived
wait,
it,
wait.
but that's
Do you
not
want to
how I
rewatch? We
said
can all
it.
rewatch the clip of it if you want. If you want to get the timestamp, you want to rewatch it.
Okay, if
No.
you want to, you can, but I didn't say it like in the mic like that. I didn't.
You
Okay, well maybe.
absolutely said it like you were trying to get a point on me or some shit. Just like when you brought
I'm
up my
sorry
kid.
for. Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What did you say?
Just like when you brought up my kid. Of course, yeah, you're absolutely trying to like win
Well,
over points
no,
on me.
I don't feel it's fair for you to devalidate trauma that happens to a 5-month-old, let alone like someone in the womb. And so it made me physically uncomfortable that you were devalidating that because, yeah, like that type of stuff does matter.
Yeah, early trauma
so-
can matter, but macro scenarios like being in the Holocaust is not like an early trauma that a child is going to
Yeah,
receive.
that does matter. That affects someone. What are you talking about?
That's
Child
what
the fuck
the
you
Jews
talking
that
about?
weren't even in the Holocaust.
Childs don't have.
No, you can't. No, shut the fuck up. You
Childs
don't even
don't
understand
have-
what you're talking about. No, if
childs
someone was
don't
born
have-
in the fucking Holocaust, if they were conceived in the Holocaust and they saw their family members fucking killed when they were a fucking tiny baby, and then they grew up and they're like, oh, my family members aren't there anymore. What happened to them, mom? Oh yeah, they were slaughtered in the Holocaust. That affects like a child. Are you fucking
Sure.
kidding me?
Those,
Like, what the
yes,
fuck?
those things can
You
affect.
can't devalidate that.
If you're missing, stop saying. First of all, it's not a word, okay? But
Like,
yeah, children can
devalidate?
perceive things, and children can have
Invalidate.
traumas relating to specific situations that happen, but they're not gonna have like a macro awareness, okay, of things. That's why I just the comment was weird. It didn't make any sense.
I think it definitely predisposed to like higher stress levels or something like that, but it's not like where you have a trauma linked to cars because you were in a car accident, where there's some event or a sexual trauma.
No,
where
if
it
you were
starts to
if you
fuck
were
with
a
something where
5-month-old kid in the Holocaust, man, that impacts you, and that's why I was like frustrated. I'm like, bro, like that shit impacts you, like it just does. You can look up whatever evidence
think
you
a
want about like
combination of all
cognitive
the
memories, but it impacts who that child will become, and it completely devalidated what I think is a really important speaker for Destiny to actually give a shot and not just meme at right now. It could
Well,
really
because
help you, I think.
It wouldn't help because the guy has no authority on anything related to any of the topics.
Well, I
that
mean,
we were going
okay,
over
but he's
recently.
written books about ADHD, so maybe he can help you personally, though. It's kind
Why
of just
wouldn't- no, I think that
arrogant
he-
for you to just completely devalidate his work because you didn't like it coming from me.
It's not arrogant. He's like an alternative health guy, and he's not considered an authority in the
He's a
field.
doctor.
So why would I
He's a doctor. He was a doctor for so many years. You're just making
why do you
assumptions.
think somebody? Wait.
You're just
why do you
being
think
arrogant about it.
Why do you think somebody being a doctor makes them an expert in a particular field?
Well, okay.
You like Jordan
because
Peterson, Catnip? Does he get the pass because he's a doctor? I'm not.
No,
I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm just asking.
no. But he's. I just think he has a valuable perspective that could add to what your perspective is.
That's great.
So
But there's like
it was
a million people that are more important to talk to before that guy.
Also, Destiny was really particular about
Like me?
being in the middle of research, which was like day 4 at that point in time, and it's like, how many
Hey,
fucking
hey,
years worth of
buddy,
context
stop
but
with that
hey,
one real quick.
hey.
Please stop with that
Huh?
one because I told him right before, like, hey, I see you're still researching. I was watching his stream and I was like, if you need to
Yeah.
research, it's fine. And then he told his stream, actually, guys, we need more YouTube content. And then he's like, call. And so that's just
Wait,
that's
no, the
not
call,
valid.
no. The call is a conversation versus like in the train of studying through history through this giant thing of text and making his notes. He's like, okay, I can go listen to more people's opinion after I have enough, like the 100% context that he's going for. It seems like to then judge everything through the lens of being fully aware. Versus, I'll watch it when I'm 75% through, and then I still have to go back and learn the other 25%.
Yeah, and I'd rather like
Right.
talk to like historians or experts in this particular domain.
Right, you mentioned that as well too.
Yeah.
No,
but
I think you can learn
matters.
everything from Israel and Palestine through one infographic. Actually,
Yeah,
my
make
I
sure
think
it's on
that's all you
Instagram
need.
though.
Oh
That's
my
where you're
God.
gonna get it for
I
real.
think that's all you need. Just watch Hassan for like 5 minutes. You'll know everything.
True.
You'll know everything.
Just inherit the right take and be on the right side of history.
Yeah, just be on the right side of history. Be against genocide. Be against
dude.
genocide. It's so
Do you
easy.
love
Just be against
trans
genocide.
and Palestinian genocide.
Just be against
A
genocide.
genocide
that
fetish
easy.
out here, bro.
I would never genocide anyone. Just so you know, Destiny. I know you
Unless-
came in saying I was one of the worst people. I would never genocide anyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of people to be the worst people. Yeah, I don't think any of
Do you
the
though?
people
Wait,
in this room are.
Steven, do you think Netanyahu is worse than me?
I don't know. Does he have BPD?
Oh my god. Okay, it's just a bit
Not-
at this point. Are
perhaps-
you fucking
perhaps-
kidding me?
the meme
Perhaps.
lives.
If
Oh
he
my
did,
God.
you would have had sex with him already.
At least.
But Catnip, it sounds like
getting
you were saying that you regretted some of the way that you were talking.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it, so-
I feel like I could have been more level-headed and prepared, but I honestly wasn't prepared for him to say Hassan should unalive right before I was getting on stream, so I was a bit triggered. And
I wish you were as triggered over the things he says as opposed to like me telling people to kill themselves. I
Oh
wish
no,
you were,
I'm
like,
triggered
some
over the
kind of
things he
action.
says, but I don't have access to him. For some reason, I
Gotcha.
sent you a poodle pic and you gave me access to you. I don't know why it was that easy. Like, I wish I could send Hassan a poodle pic and I could tell him how stupid
What
he
the
is.
fuck?
but,
You
yeah.
got him
Okay.
with a
Cloud, you
poodle
know?
pic? I had to
Got him
send
with a poodle
Steve-
pic.
What the
Based.
fuck?
No, you didn't have to send nudes, bro. I just found like a poodle pic that looked like him with his blue hair. That's all it took.
I did it
Yeah, there's pictures of your friends in swimsuits, you know?
Hey, that was after the fact. That yeah,
Bonus
not my
feature.
idea.
Yo,
It was a good picture though. Not gonna lie.
Because something that Destiny said was that like some of these people are fucking evil, right? And especially when Hassan ends up going on, I think it was Piers Morgan, and being like, "Oh yeah, I don't have the burden of a real news organization, and I'm propaganda. I'm just saying shit, bro. Don't worry. I'm just playing the role of the leftist guy." But really, he's drumming up support for Hamas, meaning that a bunch of people that are whatever trying to engage with the situation and be activists are engaging at like a super one-dimensional, low-resolution, fucking dog shit perspective. And then
How could this
how
guy
many
who
more-
buys prostitutes possibly be a bad person?
What? How is that
How
related? How is that
how
relevant?
could someone how could someone who contributes to a sex trade industry be a bad person? I just don't get it.
I think it would depend
a
on the
whore enjoyer?
circumstances.
Nice.
I think it would depend for sure.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that, and this isn't to, justify that, and I don't think, whatever, fuck the platitude part of it. What I'm trying to say is that part of, I think, the root of a statement like that, like I said, I like it as a figure of speech, basically get the fuck out of my world, or in Hassan's case, it's like, stop projecting the shit that you're doing that could perpetuate more support for people who are massacring people and fucking just, whatever, defiling human life in an insane way.
But I think
it's
that
like
can
if-
go both ways. You know?
What can go both ways?
With drumming up support for, like, say, if you stand by Israel no matter what, you know, like.
If you blindly do in a one-dimensional way,
Yeah.
yes, and 99% of the population is doing that, and 99% of people are not educated or level-headed enough to have a fucking opinion whatsoever, or the humility to know that they don't know. And so I think, like, even Lonerbox and Destiny have been pretty particular about, and I was trying to talk to fucking Ben Thorpe earlier today, crazily
Oh my
enough, ending it
god.
this retarded world where it's like
Oh
there's
my
obviously
god.
a difference between the civilians that are being used as shields and then Hamas, whether some of those civilians are also supporting Hamas or not. Some people are just born in the worst fucking place to be right now, or one of the worst places. And then for Israel, again, people are just born there because whatever, they got put in that place and that's where their family's been for 50, 70 years. But that they are not the IDF, or they're not the government. And so yeah, anyone who's sitting there being like, oh yeah, Israel's just all a piece of shit and like fuck them, they should be wiped out, or the same shit on the other side, erase Israel, all these are all just dog shit opinions that, again, like the comment on Twitch or on Twitter that tells you to off yourself, that it's like, don't give it so much value. This person's probably retarded or just
We should make
not
all of
worth
the Middle
whatever.
East Israel.
I
The
don't know.
US
That's
should
a
get
joke.
involved
Yeah,
right
that goes
now.
big meme.
What
Oh
the
my
We
goodness.
should make every Middle Eastern country Israel. Put a
No.
bigger Western stronghold in the Middle East.
Absolutely fucking not.
It's so rich. It's so rich with
Oil, yeah,
nutrients,
and
oil,
resources, and we could just
resources.
no thanks. I'm good on that.
Why not?
Because
You think Muslim countries are better?
I
than,
think more
Western
war
countries?
is bad for everybody.
Not if we get
War is
something
bad,
so
okay.
good out of it.
No, because I think I used to want to be like a solar engineer. I had like a hair up my ass, my autistic ass, to build like solar cars. I think there's just a better way. We can actually work with people and find better ways to
You're
use
right,
the
you're right.
resources we have.
You're right. We should put a Western stronghold in the middle of those countries so that slowly over time they can influence them.
Well, listen, hey,
Okay.
Israel's got a thriving tech sector, so if you want green energy, support countries like Israel, and you're more likely to see it.
Exactly.
Based.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not at the price of ethnic cleansing, though. I'm good with
Oh
that.
my god, I'm gonna kill myself. There's no way. There's
I
no
feel like
way.
that's not a necessary part of the deal, but I think we can work
I don't
around
know.
that.
I don't know why we're
True.
talking about
Israel is pretty
Israel.
uniquely bad about the ethnic cleansing in the Middle East. I don't think any of the other countries do that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's
I
actually
don't
no other
care about
genocides have
Israel.
ever happened.
That you
Besides
guys we're having an entire cope stream over here. I would like to, if there are other grievances that want to be shared while we're all here.
Oh, you want to go back to the drama, back to the good stuff.
Oh yeah, I heard somebody
mean,
say I had a deep sadness. My chat was spamming deep sadness when I asked
Yeah.
what they were listening to.
Deep
Yeah,
sadness.
yeah.
Hmm.
I said what did I say? I said that there had to be a deep sadness in dealing with reading comments of how awful you are every single day for over 10 years. And then
Is
I
that
said
really
he
what
could
you said?
deny
Is that
You
this.
true?
stream a lot, Destiny. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Even the times where you take breaks and your audience bitches, like, you still stream a lot.
Yeah, that's my job. Yeah, I've been doing it for 14 years.
Yeah, brutal. It sounds like a fucking horrible living.
Really, I feel like it's kind of a dream job, but
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
win some, you lose some. You get
Yeah.
to do, you get
Double-edged
to
sword.
have these amazing opportunities and glory and money, tons of money, but at the cost of what?
I don't know what the cost is. If I wasn't a streamer, I'd probably work at McDonald's, and as soon as I get home, I'd probably hop on Twitter and start fighting with people.
There's no
It's
way
kinda-
you'd work. There's no way that you'd work at McDonald's.
It's
There's
kind of
no
what
way.
I enjoy doing.
I mean, if
so-
you grew up in like Nebraska or some shit, right? It's probably McDonald's you'd be working at. There's not
You'd
many
work
jobs
at
in
a
the
Chuck E.
Midwest.
Cheese at least. At
Yeah.
least.
Chuck E. Cheese is far away, man. In the Midwest, there's only like 10 of them.
Yo, if we can be real though, like some of us dudes just have that autism where it's like, I'm gonna play guitar 16 hours a day or whatever, 8 hours, and go play a show, or I'm gonna play video games 16 hours a day. And to be
Camille
able to just,
Paglia talks about this. It's male obsession.
yeah, it's why we do
Male
the 80 hours
obsession.
a work, or 80 hours a week or whatever, 120 hours, and be CEOs, because we just focused in on that thing. We amass status and resources, which is a bonus feature to raise your whatever freedom, just because you have money. Like you can support your family, you can go on you can travel, you can do anything you want to do if you have money. And
You can have sex with every BPD woman you've ever met.
exactly. Let's fucking go.
Speaking of which,
but
just to clarify, no, me and Destiny did not fuck. We never even met because Destiny didn't want to pay for dinner.
Base.
Rough.
Whoa.
so you're saying it costs a dinner?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
My bad.
But
I
we never even
misinterpreted
got to
that.
meet.
Next
I
time.
apologize.
No.
Point I'm trying to
I
make
think
is
I think I at least got a water bottle, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god.
Doesn't take much.
Hey, I offered to. That's why I was so hurt by the lie, because I even offered, like to take him out for coffee. And I said after I was a famous porn star, I was gonna make it rain on him and Melina. And then he went out of his way to mischaracterize me as just the gold digger, man.
Are
I
you
had
actually
it.
a famous corn star?
You know who you are.
Nah, not like big, but I've been doing it.
Nice.
Don't do
How you
porn.
doing?
You
It
sugar
rots
mama?
the soul. It rots.
Yeah,
Wait, is Lav back on
I'm-
our anti-porn arc while doing OnlyFans still, or
I haven't done OnlyFans for over a year, Steven.
is that true?
Yes, it's true.
Are you happier?
Much happier.
Hold on, we're gonna do a quick fact check on that one.
You can get subscribed. Plus $10.
Fuck,
Yeah,
I
you
don't know what her
should.
name is actually. Never mind. You're
Yeah,
lucky.
no, I've been very happy.
Destiny, did we fix your deep sadness?
Yeah, one conversation at a time, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's
Steven,
like,
for
you
the
got a
past
dream
for the
job,
past
smoking
year.
hot
Also,
wife.
it's been over a year
This guy's
since our
living the
since our
life.
breakup. Isn't that crazy? Over a year.
Well,
break
you know,
up.
that's how life goes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think
it's just
about it a
crazy.
lot. I'd expect you to have more to say if you call
Yeah,
me
that's
Lav
that's
and
what I was
so
gonna
many
say.
others.
Your fans keep every single day, come back to stream, Steven wants to talk to you, and then they send me your little messages from your DGG chat, and I'm like,
Yeah, do
my
they?
my DMs are open.
We
He's
haven't
not blocked.
we haven't spoke for a year. How
That's
do
my
you
line.
still have things to say about me? I don't understand what you guys even talk about when you're in these
No,
chats.
Destiny, the first time I called you called me Lav. You told your stream Lav's calling.
Yeah,
And
you
then
guys talk about me every day.
Yeah.
Of course, there's stuff to
somebody
talk
told me
about.
you
There's
still
a
post
there's
things
a
on
full
your
year.
on your Patreon. That's what you. Okay,
No.
I see. Okay.
No, that's also untrue.
Oh, this person must be lying to me, I guess.
Yeah, they are.
Well, okay. Well, I need to sleep soon. I've got 7 BPD girls that are waiting in my bedroom. So,
Based.
Makes
are there any
sense.
final words, grievances?
Can't wait to see him on stream next week.
Thoughts? Yeah, they'll be there, Lav. I know you wish it could be you instead. Anything else?
No.
I feel abused now, Destiny.
Yeah, do you?
It was nice to meet you, man. I hope I get to speak to you another time in different circumstances, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. How does that Palestinian-Israeli research coming, Catnip? You got something more than TikTok videos?
I was
or-
actually no. See, that's not the main point of my content. I thought we were like more friendly than that. That we didn't have to have a full-on like rip each other's balls off debate. I was just trying to put you on to somebody who I thought could help you. Also with your ADHD. Today on stream, I was listening to
fix you.
Scattered Minds by Gabor Mate. It's
know.
about ADHD and it's how it's formed and the environmental effects, all of that stuff. So I think it's a good read if you have time.
Yeah.
Books are good for you.
Are you really not? Hold on, I just have to ask. I'm so curious. Are you not capable of perceiving how condescending or patronizing you are, or does it just come like?
Are
naturally?
you not capable of perceiving how condescending or patronizing you are?
No, I know when I'm being like. I sound very condescending, patronizing right now. I know when I am. I'm curious if you don't know when you are though. Like for instance, if you
I'm
were to
curious
ask me,
if you haven't had someone match your energy this well before.
if you were to ask me,
Maybe it was
Lav.
Lav.
Not when
Maybe
they're
that's why
as
you
un-
hate her.
What it is.
not when they're
Oh my
as
God.
uninformed
This-
as
I'm
you are.
having
No, I
flashbacks.
haven't.
I'm
Usually when
having
people try to
Vietnam
act
flashbacks.
smug or condescending, usually it's because they know something that I don't, and they're gonna catch me on something. Not because
It's
they're
my
about to
way
link
of
me a TikTok
coping.
video.
I prefer to sound like this
Huh.
rather than to call people retards, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, bring
Alright,
back the word
that's
retard, bro. Let's go.
base.
I'm not a
Bring back
fan.
the
but,
N-word. Bring back the
you know.
N-word.
Dude, it's such a good word. It's like you can't. It's the one I'll never give up. I can't use the F slur and shit like this anymore. But
Why not?
retard.
I just
is-
don't understand. Yeah, if
I'll
I
die on
say
that
the F
hill.
slur objectively, it's like not that bad. If I
Every
call
time
myself
you
the F
say the
slur,
F slur, a gay person will die, drop
Yeah.
dead in the middle of the street. I
Oh,
think
man.
they'll be okay. The fudge
Did
packers
Destiny
will
bring
be
up the
okay.
Relly accusation? What's that? Did I miss something there?
What was the Relly accusation?
Oh, so I don't even want to say it because he's just gonna say that I'm further perpetuating like something that's not true. But I swear, maybe it's my BPD.
Are you
I
live lab
met-
lying? Are you live lab
I
lying?
might be live lav lying, but it
Holy
happened in
shit.
my reality.
Maybe you're
but-
my
Relevant.
daughter. Maybe you're my daughter.
Mommy?
What
Mom?
the fuck? Whoa.
Catnip accused Relly of saying she deserved to get abused in Discord offline call. Jeez.
Yeah, I was in a CuteBot server after I went on the CuteBot stream, and CuteBot was like, "Oh, how'd your last relationship end?" I was like, "Oh, this is abusive. You know, don't hit your partners, kids. Don't do that." And then I got off stream, went in the Discord to hang out, and it was someone who looked just like Irrelevant. I won't say it's him, but they had the name Irrelevant. And it was around the Amber Heard trial, like that era. And he just went on about like, oh yeah, you got abused, you probably deserved it, like, and it was just like laughing about it.
Oh.
So, but he says it wasn't him. He swears. But some
In all
doppelganger
honesty,
of
it
his
doesn't
that
sound
with the
like
name,
something
yeah.
Irrelevant would say. Just I have no
Catnip,
idea.
do you
if it
think
happened,
all
I'm
black
just
people look
saying
the
it.
I
same?
was about to
No,
say
I
just
don't,
like
and
all
that
black
was
people look
exactly
alike. Are
what
you a cop?
Irrelevant said after that. And you know, am I a cop? No.
Well, hey, listen, you're not the only
Holy
BPD
shit.
girl in here that makes false accusations, so you're in good company. Don't worry.
And
about
I
it.
know, and at least Catnip learned from me. Make money off of yours. I made nothing off of mine. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. I need to pick better targets.
Straight up.
Wow.
Damn,
Well,
man. Well,
Until I message everybody and say, hey, come complain about Destiny on my stream again.
I told you, Tom, I
Nope.
told you were so acting like a victim right now. I told you that
I am a
Catnip wanted to
victim.
talk to me. You knew what you wanted to talk to me about.
I didn't.
You
no,
absolutely
no, I
kn-
did not. No,
You
I
are
had no
such a
idea.
f-
There's
you are
no
such a
reason-
filthy
Why
little
would I know
liar.
this? Why would I know that she wants to come complain
Because
about
we said
Destiny?
because I said we literally talked about how she was being called Meth Lav 2.0.
yeah.
You
Yep, that-
knew,
Okay,
you
I had to
knew,
prove myself,
Tom.
didn't I,
You
Destiny? To prove that I
slippery
wasn't
little
Lav?
sly dog. Oh my god.
It was exactly
You're
a
live
year
lav
ago that
lying right
all
now.
of
You're
us
live lav lying.
met here. Oh, it was exactly a year ago. That's wild.
Gotcha.
Crazy.
I've been told that I need to make a statement. Catnip's claimed Irrelevant said she deserved to be abused off stream in 2021 on a CuteBot Discord server, but Irrelevant had never been on CuteBot server until April of 2023. Catnip still maintains that Irrelevant said it. She is
Shout
lying.
out Cupebot.
No,
Shout
out
it,
Gunnar
it's
Gooch.
someone who's a doppelganger and has his exact name then. I don't say it's him, but that's what I experienced, and I don't have evidence of that, so you can disbelieve me if you want.
Believe women. I believe you,
It
Catnip.
doesn't matter if you do or not. 'Cause
Did you know
it's
who
not like
Irrelevant was at
I
the
expect
time?
something to be done
I was
about
about
it.
to
It
ask,
just
yeah, did you know him before that at all? Like enough to register?
no,
Like, oh, I'm
no.
seeing
I
Irrelevant in
that
this
was the
moment,
first
or
time I came
it's like a
across
vague
him
past memory?
whatsoever. That's the first time I ever came across him, and then I recognized him when he was in the orbit.
People are saying
like,
that
"Oh, wait,
Irrelevant
that's-
showed you a
maybe it
picture
wasn't
of
him?"
his twin brother, and you claimed that that picture looked nothing like Irrelevant.
That's actually not what I said. I looked at the picture and I was like, huh, the mic and the ceiling are different. I'm like, nah. But
Wait, the what? The mic and the ceiling are different?
yeah, I was like, that's not.
She went on to
I
say
don't
that
know, I
it
didn't
definitely
recognize
didn't
him.
look like Irrelevant's identical twin brother who had the same setup that she described. This literally
But if you
happened.
put a picture of them side by side, they look different. But I'm not attached to the idea that it was him. But that's what my experience was in that CuteBot Discord.
So he maybe said some horrendous shit. We'll just
Or his
Maybe.
doppelganger. I'm not saying it's him. He says it's not him, and even though he claims to be the incel king, he says that's unlike his character. But I found the incel king to be so hilarious given the context that I just explained. I laughed my ass off when I saw that clip.
yeah, but he's like a polite incel, right? It was
like
like
a very,
factual,
yeah.
not having sex
Like,
in a while,
he
not
was
like I
sweet.
hate women, grr.
Well, no,
It's
she's
like,
trying
you know.
to say she's wink wink. She thinks it was him, but he's just not admitting it. That's what she's saying. Right?
Yeah, and I
no,
don't want
I know,
to.
I
I'm
know.
not like I'm not
I'm saying I don't
pressed
think
about
that's the
it.
case.
I'm not, so I'm not,
Okay, matches him.
Mhm.
He's all right in other contexts and whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, even without him saying he didn't do it, if somebody just told me this happened, I would immediately be like, cap, no shot. No shot
incel
Irrelevant
king?
would say that to somebody.
Yeah, but
You're-
incel
no,
Me
he's
king
like
is
listen to
a
her talk
very
long enough. I can definitely
mild-mannered,
understand somebody
progressive
saying she
dude.
needs a little bit of abuse in her life. You know.
Wow, wow.
Toasty.
Yeah, I actually got told that before I was abused as well. I just have one of those personalities. Maybe it's the ADHD, but I
Yep,
don't
I'll be
think
super,
anyone
super real with
deserves
you,
it
and,
necessarily.
Maybe don't go back and look, but we reviewed the content in here, and I can definitely be seen typing, "Bro, she's so fucking condescending. Holy shit!" And
Hey,
again, this is
I
like I
match
talked to
energy,
Erudite
man.
about this. No, I get you, but like I talked to Erudite about this. I've talked to, or I've, listened to y'all talk about this. Maybe it's like that inflection thing where like everything's kind of a question, and like when everything goes up, it's like kind of fucking annoying, and it's like, can you not fucking talk to me like that? It's like,
No, it's
fucking-
it's not the inflection. It's the actual content.
contents of the yeah. Also, yeah, the suicide.
I would
things.
argue that
The
not
more
to be
frustrating
mean,
part.
but if you're aware of Pixie, she has trouble with inflection sometimes with the way that she talks, but she never like you
Sure.
can tell the way that she's talking. She's not ever trying to be like
Mhm.
condescending or rude or mean to somebody, whereas Catnip legitimately is. So it's a totally different thing,
Mhm. Maybe
see
it's
what you mean. The
like
intent
how
and the
long I've
source
had
of the
to like
emotion.
as a sex worker, I've been doing it for 8 years this year.
Mhm.
Talk to live
Catnip,
chat
Catnip, it's
and
normal.
combat like a lot
It's normal.
of shit.
Catnip,
right?
stop.
You know?
Stop. You don't need to.
Gotcha.
You
I
don't
wouldn't
need
know
to.
anything about
You
dealing
don't
with
need to do
harsh
this.
crowds or anything. So thanks for like.
You do not need
elucidating
to do
that
this.
for me, yeah.
Everyone is mean to other people. Every single
Mhm.
person in the world is mean to other people.
Oh,
You do
Lav,
But
you
not
don't have
have
sex
to-
workers face unique
There's
or
a
peculiar
reason you don't do
conditions?
sex work anymore, right? There's a
Yeah,
reason
isn't
you
there-
don't do it anymore, right? Because it's a little bit different of a context when you're
Yes,
butt ass
but
naked,
even if
blasting
you
yourself
never-
in front
even
of
if
people,
you
and they're gonna
never
tell you your
did
tits are
sex work,
saggy.
Even if you
You
never
know,
did
like-
sex work, do you know how normal
heard
it
it's
is
like
to feel good making other people feel bad?
Exactly.
It's so normal. It's so
Isn't
normal.
it a unique kind of thing though? Like making fun of people for sexually related things? Wouldn't that be horrible? I'm glad that we have people like Lav in here to understand that, should never do things like that, right?
So you shouldn't have showed me your penis if you didn't want me to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Ay,
Well,
ay,
I know you'd
ay.
run around talking to everybody because you were so proud about the fact that we, kind of hung out with each other. So that was cute.
Yeah, well, you were really proud to call me mid-Jewish pussy, so I had to set the record straight.
I just knew that it would bother the fuck out of you to hit you
Yeah, I
in
knew
the
you
only
would.
area in your life you actually have accomplished anything in, which is like looking decent. But
I can't imagine how good it makes you feel. Someone with that weird of a dick to talk
Yeah.
about the way that I look.
well,
So I'll let you have it.
Never had
I'll
any
let you have it.
problems with it. Never had any problems working it. But you're the one over
Well,
here with
with me.
all the trauma. You're the one over here. I've never steamed my dick before, but apparently you've posted guides on steaming pussies. So congratulations.
It
for that.
works. It made my period regular. It
Yeah,
was a
did
sleigh.
it?
A yoni steam,
That's
yeah.
good.
That
Nice.
sounds like witchcraft. Did you say yoni?
Yoni, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
If
the
you're
liquid
curious
yoni
about
shit?
it, sub to our OnlyFans. She's going to be releasing educational videos on it soon, right after
Are
she
you gonna
reads
collab with
Das
Amaranth on the
Capital, I
Yoni
think.
beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
will.
look forward to editing those.
Yeah. Thank you, Jib. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay.
Was this like a self-harm? You want me to talk more about your weird dick, Steven?
Yeah, I'm actually really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just like
Yeah.
just like last September. Holy shit, I'll
Exactly,
laugh and
yeah.
you can pull it out and come all over yourself
Oh
again.
my god, that sounds so
I'm-
good. Yeah, and then you can tell me how your husband
Yeah.
doesn't get you off, and then run and talk to all of your strange little
Oh.
Nazi friends online about how
This
about
is
how horrible the interaction was that you were begging me for when you made me run in and grab that Red Bull, so I'd be awake enough to hang out with you. Remember that?
Steven, we both know what happened. You know that I
Yeah.
never said shit about Connor. The fact that you
Okay.
keep bringing him up is insane.
Is it really more insane
Yeah,
than
do you want me
the
to
sex
post the
worker,
DMs of
talking
you
about
asking if
my-
you could play with him?
talking about
Because
talking
you
about
are
my, dick?
obsessed with Connor.
No.
You're obsessed
I
with Connor.
am.
I'll post the DMs
I
where you
mean,
talk about
I'm gonna be
wanting
honest,
to make
listen,
me jealous.
Ridge
Elon
Wallet,
messing
it's
with
a good
him.
company, okay? If he's a CFO, he's probably a good man,
It's not the CFO, he's the CMO.
Oh, my bad.
Idiot. And we've had no sexual problems ever in our relationship.
That's good.
Ever.
I'm proud of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm
That's
not
good.
worried about it.
You don't seem worried
But it
about
is
much
so
in life. I
it
envy
is
that,
so weird because I remember being like, wow, that was the best head I've ever got. And somehow you
Uh-huh.
internalize that as making that
Yeah.
about my other partners, which is
Really,
crazy. That's like
It's funny you go
what you
back and
say
forth
after
on that
good head.
story based on who you're, talking to at any particular point in time. But do you still think I sexually abused you, or have you moved on from that part too?
Hard to say. I don't really think about it that much anymore.
Fuck, I thought I left a stronger impression. Well, damn.
No, just the fear of phimosis, really, not anything
Is
else.
that it? Is that why your name is Femoid now?
Yeah, you've really. Whoa, maybe it's like yeah, it remained dormant in my psyche. I hope you get that figured out, by the way.
No, I'm good. Everything works fine over here.
Yeah, well, it's hard to clean it, I bet.
No, actually, it's pretty easy to clean. You just pull the thing back when you're not hard, and you wash away. But thanks for the tips.
Uncut?
Do I need to
It's
use a butric acid too? Is that what other?
Steven, we
cleaning
both
tips
know
got
that
for
you
stuff down
cannot
there?
pull it back. We both know you can't pull it back.
Why are you talking? You've never even seen my dick soft before. Why would you have this in-depth conversation about my penis on this Discord? It's a little bit weird.
Do we
Lav.
need to talk about
Is that a
penises and
compliment?
vaginas, or
He brought it up. He wanted me to fucking humiliate him. He fucking
I
loves
brought
it.
it up? I
He's
feel
probably,
like what-
touching himself right now.
Weren't you? I thought you were the one that brought it up before I ever said
You
anything
are
about my Jewish pussy.
disgusting.
Isn't that a?
You
isn't
have
that
a
what
you have
actually
a
happened?
disgusting cock, Steven.
Yeah.
Be a good boy. Get
I'm
on your
sure
knees
it's a-
right now
it's
and
a
jack off your
nice penis.
pathetic little
Oh,
cock.
yes. Well, I imagine your
Yeah,
husband
you like
fucking
that?
me from behind. I do actually.
Oh, I
That's
bet you
kinda
do. He's
hot.
a hot man. He's
Dude, I'm
very
hopping on-
sexy.
I'm getting on Grinder right now. Okay, I need a friend here for this
Let's
one.
go.
All right.
okay? Thanks so
Yeah, is
much,
that it?
everybody.
Anything else you need here,
Thank you.
Tom?
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, this was fun. Steven, hit me up
Yeah.
if you ever want to talk. See you guys.
Well,
Bye.
listen, as always,
Bye.
Karantos from Kicker Keep. Okay. Catnip,
Well-
have fun being emotionally abusive. I pray for the men in your life. Hopefully, they can see past that. Jube, too,
I
you seem
pray
pretty
for
cool.
the women in your life.
And Tom, be careful
I
with the
appreciate
BPD
you,
women.
man.
It's a rough ride. There's a reason I've gotten off it. So good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. Tom, how you doing? Are you logging off or cutting stream right now, or is it already dead?
I
No, it's
honestly,
still-
I was getting ready to cut stream after the panel, and then
Right.
TyQuest wanted to jump on, and then he started talking about Lav and disagreeing with her. So I was like, oh, I got nothing to do. I could get some content. Let's invite Lav on. So I get Lav on. I honestly, I swear, had no reason to think that like Catnip was coming to talk crap about Destiny.
No, that came up in the middle of it. That came up randomly. I know.
But
I
yeah,
don't think
but
I
they're
saw
saying
that
that
part.
I should have known. Even Sass is in chat being like, Tom, you knew this is what they were doing. Maybe I'm a freaking
yeah,
idiot, but
look,
I didn't know
so
that that's what they were
This is
doing.
what I'm gonna say. The second I heard that individual was coming in, sorry, Catnip, I was like, oh, she is gonna ask about Lav's experiences with Destiny. And then
Obviously,
she
I
started to
already
even
know
bring
like the
up
dangers of having
article and
Lav
Anna and all
on.
this, and I was like,
I just didn't know that was why
that it's
Catnip
all
wanted to
fucking
come
women,
on.
literally all of them. You should have known better, Tom.
Yeah,
but no, I think
didn't.
given the context
I knew that
of
was
like
the
her
danger
being-
with Lav, not Catnip. I didn't know
Right.
that was a Catnip issue.
my spider senses tingled that like she was emotionally stressed out enough about it, and the fact that she even messaged Lav after that to talk is like, why are you going to, why is the next move in your quest after the conversation with Destiny, oh, let me call up the infamous, I mean, I guess okay, the name was referenced, but like what, it's just a meme in the community at this point. Like she's kind of the bar that women are measured
Mantis,
against.
I didn't say anything
Such a
about that.
crazy-
I don't know why that's what you just said. I literally didn't say anything about that. That
What?
she said, of course Destiny's going to come on and defend himself. What? I didn't say Destiny would. Who do you
I
think
didn't
pulled
see
him
that
on?
part coming.
I don't know
I
what.
didn't see that far ahead.
That's
at
what
all.
Mantis just said. I like obviously once they started talking about him, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So yeah, it's best if Destiny comes on. But
Yeah,
but
once the
I'm talking
conversation-
about. I didn't know that they were going to talk about Destiny. I didn't know that the reason Catnip wanted to
Right.
come talk to Lav was about Destiny. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. But obviously, yes, once they start talking about Destiny, yeah, I want Destiny to come on and defend himself. Like, yeah.
I don't know how you could. Did you go over her conversation with
shaking, Tony.
Destiny and then the conversation afterward that she had with Relly?
I didn't. I went over the
I didn't know
conversation
about the
she
relic,
had
or we
with
didn't.
Destiny. Yeah, I didn't know. We watched like a little bit of the irrelevant conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that then entirely. I guess I wasn't here.
We
I don't
watched
know,
it
it seemed-
before we watched the conversation with Destiny, but we literally only watched like 2
Gotcha.
minutes of it.
It just seemed like
Gotcha.
a given to me. Just what the way the conversation went on with Destiny, the things she said on her stream afterward, the way she, pretty heavily throughout the conversation with Destiny, and then afterward on her own stream, just started like name dropping people and such. Right, seemed pretty obvious what she was going to be doing. So I don't know. It seems like the kind of behavior you get from someone who likes to name drop people and make claims about them. Pretty consistent pattern we've seen in certain other individuals.
Yeah, like I said, I
So-
know that this is the danger of having Lav on. I'm well
Women,
aware of that.
man.
I'm not claiming that I don't know that. I'm saying I didn't know that with
what was
catnip,
coming
but
in that moment.
yeah.
Well, it got you some content, so my
I'm not
advice:
upset about it.
continue
Like,
being naive.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it at all. I'm happy we could mend bridges here. They're all friends now, thanks to me. Tom,
Oh, yeah.
I fixed everything. I am
Dude,
Please
here
that
do,
was
by
like
way.
the
to
most
fix it.
degenerate cluster B panel I have ever seen. My whole chat was going off with "Ain't no way" in there, just
No,
like
they were all getting along.
absolute degeneracy. What gave you the idea to have a cluster B panel anyway? Like, that's pretty innovative.
I was on a panel with Lav earlier, on playing with fire. We were having a debate with Andrew Wilson. I didn't really
Hey,
get
Andrew.
to talk much, and so once it ended, I was like, if anybody wants to jump on and call in, because I don't have anything else to do, so I was just gonna get off. Somebody called in. They had issues with what Lav was saying, so I invited Lav on to come engage with what he was saying, and then she said, well, Catnip's been wanting to talk to me, and I was like, oh, I want to meet Catnip.
That's
Tell her to
not
come on.
surprising.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, apparently once they started talking about Destiny, I was like, wait. I was like, can we not do this here or like somewhere else? And they're like, oh, you're scared. Why are you afraid of him? I was like, I don't know anything about what you guys are talking about, so I'm not I'm not prepared to have this conversation right now. And then I started arguing with them about whether or not like it's it's on everybody else to placate to somebody who's mentally ill, and I was like trying to explain, like, this is just kind of the way we like this space. Like, if you don't want to get hurt, maybe don't go play football. If you don't want to get punched in the face, maybe don't get in a boxing ring.
You're making way too much sense, Tom.
If you
met
don't
the kind
want
of people in this
toxicity,
space?
maybe just don't come here. This is how we like it, and then Destiny wanted to hop on, so we pulled him in.
Tom, obviously it makes far more sense to cater to everyone's quirks and mental illnesses and fragility and vulnerability and traumas.